Good evening, starfarers. We are coming to you live from the Opal Sector, where the stars are bright and the asteroids are anomalous. The weather outside is a balmy negative 455 degrees, with a high chance of gamma ray bursts in the early to mid-afternoon. Let's lengthen the weekend together, everyone. Welcome to Tales from an Infinite Verse.
But can they hear us?
Woo! Yeah, they can hear you. Now they can hear me too. It's gotta be something. It's always something. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Tales from Infinite Verse. As you may have noticed, a bit of a different roster tonight. This is not a permanent thing. Elle just had something come up. Elle couldn't make it tonight. So you'll notice by the arrangement of the windows and the names here that we are not playing the main campaign tonight. We're doing a special Uncharted Worlds 2 Alpha one-off.
I was putting the wrong way.
So first off, a huge welcome. You all know him as your moderator, Homestead Hero. Please welcome Jake to the crew for the night. Woo!
Hello, everyone.
Very excited. Jake has already been gifted an advantage. So we're starting off strong.
Thanks,
And I think that's I don't think I have any more things to intro. We are still discussing what the exact plan is going to be for getting back to this, if we're going to be back to the main game next week or 2 weeks from now. We'll let you know in the Discord. If you are a part of the Discord, feel free to jump on. In the About section, there's a link to the Discord. If someone's copy and paste that onto that, you're welcome to do that too. One day I'll come up with the actual command that does it. It's not hard. I just haven't. I'm lazy. Or busy. Take your pick. But that's all I've got. So, yeah, I think at this point in the night, we're going to throw it over to... Yeah, we're just going to dive right in. Sean, you're welcome. Why don't we get it started?
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I just got tingles.
All right. Hey, don't overhype. Have to have that.
This is nothing about you. I'm hyped for me and Jake.
Okay.
Sorry. It's taken 85 years for us to play together.
One more and Jake and I literally met at the game Dungeons and Dragons. Like, our first meeting was tabletop, and that was about 5 years ago at this point. And to this day, we've never played in a game. I've always run his games, never been a player next to him. So, Sean, I love you, but this is all about Jake.
That's fair.
Was that the game I was in too?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 2017. No, yeah, 17.
Okay. I know I interrupted him twice, but that's let Sean talk.
All right. So, for those of you who have seen the other one-shots, the way that I run a one-shot is I tend to go in completely blind. As the GM, I have no idea where the story is going to go. I have no idea what the story is, even the start. I have only the barest idea. So, we'll begin. And I'm going to prompt each of you. So just as a warning this time, I'm sorry. I kind of threw Josh for a loop last time. He was like, Okay, this time I'm warning you ahead of time. I will be prompting you for major elements. So we start in darkness. We hear the sound of running footsteps, heavy breathing. Someone is terrified. We get a glimpse of what they're running through, where they're running through. Nadi, what's the terrain that they're running through? What's the landscape? What's this world like?
Can it be indoors? Does it have to be outdoors, or can it be in?
Anything. Can be city, can be a space station, can be a wilderness, whatever. I have no idea what it is yet.
Cool. Corporate, is it me, or is it just anyone?
Nadi, I'm asking you specifically.
Sweet. Corporation headquarters, somewhere I am absolutely not supposed to be. Very sterile walls, fluorescent lighting.
This isn't you. This isn't you running.
Oh, it's not me.
This is not you running. Just where are they?
Yep, then same out. Do with that as you will then, for whoever was intended.
Sure. All right, so major corporate headquarters, so I'm seeing a lot of glass, a lot of reflective flooring, big, tall art structures in like little atriums and that kind of thing.
Yes, of course.
And then, of course, through that glass, we see through fog and rain the big cityscape and all the glittering lights out in the distance, of course. More running. The character skids to a halt behind a pillar, and we get our first actual view of them. The lights are off. The corporate headquarters is closed for the night, but they're still here. Victor, who are they, and what have they done that has earned your team's very hostile interest?
This is a top tier war room military exec. This is someone who is very good at telling soldiers where to go and has never seen a day of battle in his life. This is someone who has raised entire planets because it was the tactically intelligent move, and doesn't know how to hold a gun properly.
I see. All right. So he has the key cards to this place. So he bleeps a key card through, turns around and bleeps the key card again so that the door seals behind him. You've got this nice circular pattern door with bars that go across it, and he runs down narrow hallway into a wide tack room. Responding to his presence, various lights turn on, holograms turning on, planetary choices start floating around the middle of the room, and soon this whole huge kind of dome shape is filled with stars and attack lines and that kind of thing. Nathan, this company that this war executive works for, what is their, I guess, purpose? What's their drive? What is the company's main product, I guess you could say?
Planetary trade. And
Okay.
by planetary trade, I mean they trade planets.
Okay. So this is like mercenary acquisitions on a planetary level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I mean, sometimes it could be legit. Sometimes it could be, oh hey, we've just finished terraforming this rock.
Yeah.
It's yours for X billion.
Find planets that could be valuable and sell them.
And if there's anybody who already lives on them, well,
Kick this guy's teeth out.
I can't wait.
all right. He runs to a console amidst all of this swirling planetary holograms. He just bangs on it repeatedly. Just says, "Are you there? They're here! They're here!" "We know," says a voice. Stepping out of the shadows of this room, cast in all this weirdly pink and purple and holographic lights edging across their faces. Gideon, which group or faction has Te Vonam, Te being the corporate exec, which group or faction has he hired because he realizes that his own security protections are not going to be enough against you?
I imagine it is basically a group of elite mercenaries, and all they do is this corporate level white hat security, high level security type of thing. And part of their shtick is they will get hired by the existing security firm, infiltrate into their ranks, and when the word is given, step above them, supersede them, and almost a hostile takeover of a security sense.
All right. So imagine each of these, we're not talking about rank and file, we're talking about each is a specialist in their own right. So you've basically got a bunch of specialists who are now active in this building, trying to prevent you and stymie your effects. Let's start with Nadi. Nadi, give us a little bit of a background about who you are.
Sure. So my name is Nadi Kazoku, and I am what is called the champion of the underdogs. And essentially, I come from a planet that is just essentially enslaves its people and just forces them to be kind of less than human. You are kind of forced into certain programs that based on your age and capabilities, your whole life is decided for you. And I said, forget that. And I decided to make my own life by finding my brother, who I was not supposed to know existed. So I am currently trying to take down any sort of corporations or planets or any sort of faction whatsoever to try and reset the status quo and free people from unfair circumstances. So I don't look that part. I look like someone who you could probably sneeze at and I would probably jump and then die. I'm very pale looking, all stock, bushy white hair, very thin, almost looks elderly, that kind of frailty to him. But yeah, is there anything else I should have put in there?
No, that's
okay,
great. Have we posted the link to the
yes,
the
sir.
character sheets in chat?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. So any of the viewers can follow along. Please feel free to follow along.
Yep.
So Nadi, in your cornering and closing the trap on Tevo, where are you in all this? How did you enter this particular corporate headquarters skyscraper thing?
That is a good question. So I am one of my what do they call it? Not classes. Areas of expertise
Careers.
that I'm careers. Thank you. Is that I am one of the industrial, which means my boy's gonna try and hack into whatever sort of back area access that he can to get into probably a surveillance style room. He's more of the intellect, more of the brains, not the brawn. So he's going to stay in the background. So if there is an area I can get into to kind of monitor, a surveillance area, that would be where he would at least start heading if he's not there already.
Okay, sure. So so surveillance security, that whole area. Next, we come to Victor.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then same thing.
Sure. My name is Victor Sudoku. I'm sorry, that's not quite it. It's what I can never remember my last name. Thanks, Kazoku. I'm the little brother of D. I'm big. I'm much bigger than him. I'm the bigger brother, but he's the older brother. So that's a little confusing. But yeah, I came from the same planet as he did, but I was traveling around all the time because I was in the army and doing fighting stuff and killing people and stuff like that. And I got really good at it and good enough that they gave me a name, which is not something everybody gets on our planet. So I'm Victor, Kazuko or whatever is. That's our name. Kazoku, I got it. That's one we pick later. And I broke away from all of that when D found me. And I figured, I've spent my whole life doing shitty things for shitty people. I figure the least I can do is spend the rest of my life doing shitty things for good people. So.
All right. And would you have chosen a different method of entry into the corporate headquarters than Nadi, or are you sticking with him as he makes his way to security and surveillance?
If Nadi made the plan, I 100% am coming with him. I would have come in alongside of him. I would have been watching his back. I am aware of the fact that he physically cannot protect himself if something goes wrong, so I'm effectively his bodyguard at this point in the plan. I'm stuck to him. If I am not with him, it is against my will.
Right. We move on then to Nathan. Tell us about yourself.
Nathan is very chiseled jaw with sort of a like a Tony Stark goatee thing going on. Not like dark hair, but sort of like dark brown hair. A little on the long side, but not quite too long. Not like shoulder length, but like sort of just like down here. And he wears a long duster coat. And he grew up on a like a shipyard planet, where most everyone who comes from there ends up working for the shipyards eventually. Sort of like a mining town. Everyone ends up working at the mines. But he wanted to get out of there and always dreamed of flying, until finally someone took a shine to him and saw potential in him and took him out to the stars. And now he joined up with these guys and flies their ship.
Your mentor. So I know that your burden. As an explanation, burdens are basically the things that kind of hang around, that drive the character or try to hold them back, one of the two. Your mentor, is he still around? Is he still out there flying somewhere? Is he retired?
I believe he's still out there somewhere.
Okay. Haven't met him in a while?
I haven't talked to him in a while now.
All right, and finally. Are you elsewhere, or are you with the rest of the group? Are you providing a second prong of attack here?
Sure. Yes.
All right. How are you tackling the?
I think I'm making sure there are no escape routes for this guy. As they run him into where they need him, and I'm making sure he doesn't get out of there.
So you've got the ground level areas, which I'm imagining this tower is almost ziggurat-like at its base, with wider and wider parking areas and off buildings and that kind of thing that all connect up in huge glass tubes and walkways and whatever. So you've got more than a city block worth of ground level entryways, most of which are used by the peons who work in this Titanic building. And then you've got the very top of the building, which has the suites and the shuttle landing pads and the little like rooftop gardens and that kind of thing that are for him and his entourage. Which area are you securing?
I think I would have disabled all but one elevator.
Okay, so you're heading to elevator control. Okay.
Yes, and so I would make sure he has to use that one elevator.
All right. And finally, Gideon.
Well, if you've ever been somewhere and a stranger sat down next to you and struck up a conversation with you, and it was pleasant conversation, nothing important, nothing earth-shattering, and the stranger went on his merry way, and 5 minutes later you don't really remember that conversation or really who you talked to, you've met Gideon. He is the most blandsome person ever. He's so bland and plain looking, if you're not looking at him, you forget he exists. But what he lacks in looks, he makes up for with just being a talker. He can talk his way into and out of anything, or almost anything. He arranges things. Politicians need to get off planet because of scandals. He's the guy to talk to or get in touch with. If you need to create a scandal for a politician, he can arrange that as well.
All right. So, and is Gideon with one of these two groups?
I imagine that, and you can tell me I'm wrong with this, but I imagine that Gideon kind of went in slightly advance of everybody because he had a meeting arranged with this person, because this individual has decided to change the terms of the agreement that he had with Gideon. And Gideon went in for a conversation with him and called in everybody else as backup, because these things don't usually turn out the way Gideon hopes that they do. Yeah, so he talked his way into the situation and is now trying to chase down this guy, but
all right,
doesn't run.
Right. So Gideon, then I would imagine, is somewhere in the mid tower, an area where a lot of business deals and just upper mid level management stuff. Of course, you're meeting with Tevo Nam. Basically, he realized how things were going, and bolted. And now, of course, you're trying to you're basically trying to make sure you have assets in play that are going to close that trap. But of course, he has his own backup.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with Nadi and Victor. You guys are making your way through, you said back hallways and that kind of thing. So we're talking about a lot of tall, narrow hallways lined with pipes and lit mostly with like single emergency lighting every so often.
Yeah.
This is the kind of place that usually is only used for like maintenance and the occasional like escape route, which funnily enough, you're at least blocking off that blocking that off.
Convenient.
My question to you now is, knowing where the security and surveillance rooms are, how do you approach that, knowing that there are security officers in there?
Do you want to go?
I mean, I think as we're approaching, just sort of a quiet, just like kind of lean in a little bit, keeping it down as best as my power suit can, and just sort of give a little like, if you want me to just go in there and sweep the rooms, I can take out everyone. That's not a problem. Do you want me to make a path for you?
I mean, that would be great, but at the same time, if they have any sort of alarm system, they could just hit that button and then we're done for.
Can't you do like a computer thing and stop their alarms?
I mean, once I'm at the computer, but until I get there, not really from afar.
I can cover you. I can clear one room really fast, and then you can get to that computer.
We could, okay, so I point to my little assistant drone, who's L0, and say, we could send LO in, see if we can make a distraction.
Just kind of narrow my eyes at LO.
It's fine, he's not better than you, it's just...
For
now,
it kind of
more
seems
helpful.
like you're saying he can do the job better than I can, though. That seems like what you're saying.
But he can't hit anyone, he just gets them so that you can hit them better. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So, I think that my plan would be, I mean, obviously, we don't really have an idea of what this room looks like, but to at least send the drone in to just kind of like create like a what the, and then just send that power suit, send Vic in the power suit.
That's
in.
basically to send that power suit in.
I mean, yeah,
You're not wrong.
basically.
All right. So,
but Vic, don't damage the computers. I need those. Can you
Got
do
it.
that?
I know how to minimize collateral damage. That's not a problem.
Good. We'll be good.
all right. So, the security stations are wide quarter circle desks, all arrayed out in like concentric rings, with holographic imagery kind of swooping, like curving up from the desk and fizzling off into nothingness up in the darkened ceiling above. The whole room is cast in blue. A bunch of officers, men and women in very formal dress, are standing at consoles, some sitting, some leaning on the desks, drinking coffee or whatever, and looking at a very, very wide array of images from all over this Titanic tower, to the point where a lot of them are actually pushed to the side, like you've got like little holographic images that are being shunted over by new information. Your drone barely goes noticed. You don't have a data unlick with it, so you can't see through it. It can come back and report to you, but usually you can talk to it. It can take notes. It can store data. It doesn't have that much of a range from you. It has to kind of hang nearby, but you can at least send it out and then it comes back.
Yeah.
So you send it out. It sweeps in and is kind of half lost in the darkness.
Got it.
The door that you're coming from isn't even one of the main doors. As I said, it's an access area. They are all armed, however. They all have stunner pistols. These are standard office building security, right? Like, these aren't the elites.
Right.
So I'm going to basically say there's no need for a roll there. You can attempt to disable their security system from where you are using what was that, LO?
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, using LO as a bridge, like basically bridging. You know, it's a very, very short range, but
Right.
LO can bridge that gap. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be at a disadvantage because LO isn't built as a hacking drone.
Right.
You could upgrade them though at some point. If this was a campaign, I'd be like, maybe LO could use a few improvements and become your official like little hacker drone, like in like a Destiny or something. You know, like just send the ghost out and let it do the hacking while you do the shooting.
Well, before I do that real quick, can I just turn to Vic and be like, well,
How's the distraction going?
You know what? You might have actually been a better one. But
Yeah?
I could... but before you do anything, I might be able to hack into their computers using LO. It's not guaranteed. I've never really done that too well before from a distance, but I can try. So...
Time out. Sorry. Tech hack or hack? You've gotta clarify for me.
Right. Tech hack.
Thank you.
Computer. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I thought so. 90% sure. I just...
Yep. Good clarification. Thank
Do
you.
you want me to be the distraction
10%.
for Ella?
Oh. Huh.
Because I can distract.
No, because I think that's still the same problem, is that if they see someone's inside there and they just hit a button and set the alarm, then we're all still screwed. If I can disable the alarm and then you go in, then we might stand a better chance.
What are we actually doing here? Like, what's the MO? What's the actual goal?
Is that something I literally decide, Sean, or is that... Okay! Thanks, Josh!
That's why I asked you how you were approaching this situation. You have your target. You have Table Num, who has activated his elite defenders, and he's on the run from you. You have Gideon, who is already in the building and kind of stalking the building at this point. I'm imagining, like, just his shadow passing across a boardroom wall or something as he slowly walks towards. And you've got Nathan, who's basically... actually, we'll find out where Nathan is and how he intends to shut down the elevators, but that's going to be in a hot second.
Got it. Vic, our goal here is to make way for the others. We need to make sure that nothing impedes Gideon and Nathan in their attack. And if we can keep Tabo from getting out of here, then we've won. But if not, if we get caught, if we kill them, well, then we're not going to be able to help any of these people that are being taken advantage of.
Okay. I'm Plan B. Got it. I'll wait here. If your tech hack goes bad, I'll slice the pie and take them all out. That's not a problem.
There's a pretty good shot that's going to happen. So just,
Hell yeah.
suit up.
All right.
I'm doing it like Iron Man. The helm comes over my face.
So brief description of your suit, Victor. You have carapace, which is protecting you from physical harm. You've got accelerators, so your limbs have enhanced athletics, so you can jump faster, climb, all of those things, including in power armor. I mean, that's a bit of it. And your weapons are powered gauntlets for your power armor. Is that right?
That is
so. Yeah,
correct.
It's all part of the same suit. It's just 3 components.
Yep.
So yeah,
You're so punchy.
I'm literally just a super suit soldier. Like, it's my whole thing. Big dumb soldier. Let's do this.
All right. So now, normally to do this hacking, it would be facing adversity using intellect. However, you are an advocate focused in intellect, which means that you can reprogram behaviors.
I can.
Yes. So I'm going to ask you to do that. Roll intellect on your advocate move.
You got it. Oh, we're starting off with a 12, so that's 14 total.
Instill a truth in this computer system. Tell it a truth.
Oh my god. Okay. Can I? Okay. Can I? So, in a truth in a computer program would be that somebody has like the overarching administrative privileges and access to it. Can I overwrite that truth and say that I am the administrative head of like the system?
You can. I am going to warn you. That is the truth that you instill in it. You don't change any of its behaviors that way. Like, you don't... If somebody hits the big red button, it's still going to activate because that's a basic behavior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Is you can technically override things and you can start reprogramming things now that you have administrative capabilities.
Right, but not start... Okay, cool.
But I'm just saying that, like, in this case, your stated goal was to turn off the security systems. So a truth would literally be everything is fine here. How are you? That would be the truth. Is for this computer system, everything is fine. There is no need for alarm.
Got it.
Right?
Okay. Cool. Sorry, I was going 2 steps ahead and being like, if anything like that happened, just like they don't respond to anyone else. But yes, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. Well, but in a case where if you had 3 or 4 more steps that you needed to do, gaining administrative capabilities would have been a great first step. It would have been like advantage to all the other roles that you need to do to tell this computer to do stuff. Absolutely. But in this case, unnecessary. I forgot to actually say that should have been a disadvantage, so I'm going to forget about that.
Yep. Whoops.
Yeah.
Roll 1 more.
Okay.
Theoretically, you roll another dice. And,
okay. I was like, I can. Do you want me to?
Yeah, please. Just
okay.
It won't actually count. I just want to see what would happen.
It would have been a 9 instead.
Okay, that's fair. I'll ignore it, but I need to. This is more on me. I need to remember that most acts, when done, the first thing that is done usually is at a disadvantage, and then you start building yourself towards normal and then towards advantage as you gain control of the situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
which we do not have yet. So.
All right. So the computer believes that everything is fine and won't respond to any distress signals. Won't respond to any alarms.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
And now what? What do you do?
Okay. I think it worked. So just go in there, shut them down. I mean, right. Just take the people, make sure they are not getting out of that room. If you need to just, go ahead.
Neutralize. It's called neutralizing the targets.
Yep. I'm sure it is. You do that, buddy. Neutralize them real good. Different types of intellect here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. I'm going to. We're like from an access shaft, right?
It's basically a side door that normally maintenance people use. So it's like one of those doors that are in the wall that look like it's just part of the decoration. It's not like a main door. It doesn't have a nice sliding thing or anything like that.
Cool. And you said they didn't notice when the drone flew in. It's a pretty.
No. They're all facing their screens, and their screens are the only source of light in the room.
Cool. I'm going to get down as I'm going to charge through it and then think better of it. I'm going to just kind of open the door and step into the room and just take a few careful steps. I got to kind of get a quick scope of the room, figure out, okay, how many targets are there, how am I going to take them down, and then just sort of then I'm going to gear up to launch at my first target and be like, pardon me, Can anyone point me towards the big red button? And then I'm just going to start going. Can I use combat here, or is there...
So the first person you don't need to... The first person you take out, you don't even need to roll. You'd say a guy in his 30s or so with a very, very large cup of coffee just goes right through the holographic screens. They turn into motes of blue dust and then reform into behind him as he goes just careening over the edge. A few other people pick out their stunners, and little greenish blue nimbuses of light spray off of your combat armor, but your combat armor is made to withstand stunner fire. I mean, that's like the bare minimum. Someone does actually slam on the button and literally nothing happens.
Thank you. I was looking for that.
A few others are just scrambling to get away, while others are trying to get a clean shot at any kind of less armored part of you, because if they hit like one of the flexible parts, it might actually like numb your limbs, that kind of thing. So there's still a chance that they could get an eye shot or a neck shot or something like that, but come on, it's dark and you're so depending on how you're going about this, are you going demolish foes with violence or pick them off with precision? Are you picking them off one by one? Or are you swinging Hulk style?
I was told not to break computers. Precision. I'm one by one.
Okay. So in that case, your potential challenges are people getting away, because you are not going in whole hog and just beating them to death with the consoles, for example.
So tempting.
All right. So you've got, as I said, you've got like waist-high consoles, you've got like these big flowing screens of data and stuff like that, and people kind of strafing between them and taking pot shots at you. Go ahead and roll with finesse, please.
Ooh, that's going to be a 9. All
right. So the fight plays out as a 10+, but you'll get hurt or cause collateral damage.
Do I get to choose which?
No.
Good, I prefer it that way.
Absolutely not. GM describes the attack actions. As I said, they're running past, strafing, taking cover, and popping out and firing shots, trying to get like a knee shot or an elbow or a neck shot for against a powered armor opponent. I mean, at this point, they're terrified. Describe how you defend yourself. Actually, you don't even need to. You stand there and look menacing.
If you want to tell me if I take harm or do damage, I'm happy to. I have a reason for either of those to go down.
Okay, well, describe how a powered armored with accelerators and power gauntlets takes out a few, like a handful of security soldiers, security officers. One of
the first things that you learn when you first get into a suit of power armor is that if you need to do something with precision, I don't have a ranged weapon, so I am my own ranged weapon. I'm good at launching myself places. And typically when you launch straight ahead, you have to be aware of every obstruction in your path. And what you learn is that on this plane, on the up-down plane, there's much less obstructions. So what you do in a room, for instance, is catapult to the ceiling, pick a target, come down. And it's like a kind of repeat, like kind of pinball-looking thing. So it would absolutely be my thing here. I don't need it. I can't break things. I can't let people go. So I'm just going up and down, just kind of bouncing back and forth, picking the next one, and just kind of like hitting them. I'm not trying to kill them, but I'm not worried if I do. So it's just kind of like coming down for like a shoulder, so breaking some arms, breaking some legs, kind of breaking non-vital parts and immobilizing.
All right. So after the third or fourth guy that you like basically backhand over a console, you turn around looking for your like sweeping for your next target, and a thin white bolt around this long just clamps into your chest, and the next thing that you know, you are filled with an electrical discharge. It just completely unloads itself. You take stress. You are, you have been shocked.
Got it.
All right. For a brief moment, everything kind of in your suit kind of goes bleep, and also your vision kind of goes wonky for a second. We are going to cut over to Nathan. Nathan, what's your plan on getting these elevators shut down?
Well, I had initially planned on just going to each of them and like cutting the cable inside.
Ah, okay.
But if there's like a central elevator control place, I could probably do it from there too.
All right. So the elevator control, as with most of the machinery in this, most of the bigger machinery in this place, the huge awnings that open up, the entire like windows that change facing and that kind of thing, all of that is down towards the power core, where you have like the control center directly above it. It also controls, among other things, stuff like the overall power of the building, communications, and that kind of thing. So you're actually like, you'd say like 2-3 floors below the security area, because it's all like one big pillar in the center where you've got like the power station, like the reactor, and then each of the consoles, like the rooms that handle main operations of the rest of the tower. All right.
Do we have any like comm system with each other?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me know when the security system's down.
Can I actually respond to that right now? Or you...
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, they are, and so is Vic. So, you know, pick your poison.
All right, going in.
All right. So, the main machinery control, where all of the like elevators and stuff like that, is dirty, grimy. It's got like 3 or 4 stories worth of like metal structure, and this is kind of like you can almost see the innards of the building, because the central core on the inside of all of the elevators is of course not done up. It's not like the nice outer part, right? All the elevators face outwards. So you've got this kind of clanging darkness way above, and down below is the glow of the reactor, and you've got metal catwalks that cross the whole place. You've got racks and racks of storage of older machinery and just wet vacs and like all of the other, like basically all of the stuff that every office building is going to need. How are you going about dealing with these? Just cutting the cords from the inside?
Cutting. If I could just cut the power, yeah, I'll cut the power to all but one elevator.
All right. I'm going to have you face adversity using your expertise, please.
All right.
Because cutting massive power cables, not safe.
With my tool belt.
Rightio.
What does my tool belt do?
Your tool belt allows you to do this without disadvantage, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, cool. Expertise. Ooh. That's an 8 on the roll. And expertise is a 2, so 10.
Yeah.
So, in this case, because neither of your career skills are really matched up to this, so you just get to choose one thing that you wanted to achieve. So in that case, that's pretty easy. You had it stated out ahead of time that the elevators have been disabled, basically. Not actually a big deal, as it turns out. It was probably the easiest part of this whole job. The question is, where are you going now?
You said like communications and a bunch of other stuff was in here too, right?
It's like the level above and the level above the level. But okay. You're going to be taking the stairs now. Well, except for that one elevator.
Except for that one elevator.
Right. So you bring that one elevator down to where you are? All right.
Yep.
Okay. Gideon, you are stalking through darkened meeting rooms. Most of them have the kind of fish tank glass effect. So you've got lots of glass walls and carpeted hallways and executive chairs around the place. Are you waiting for your backup, or are you pursuing Tevo right now? Because he's basically locked himself further down.
Yeah. I imagine that as soon as I am able to see him with my infrared eye, which, I mean, it's not, you can't really, like, see through walls necessarily, but if it, like, he touched a door, he would leave, like, a warm handprint. That's kind of how Gideon's been tracking him through the building.
Sure.
But as soon as Gideon knows kind of, like, roughly where he is, Gideon's going to call out on comms and say, I think I have a lead on him. I don't know if I can't tell if he's alone in there. I'm not getting close enough to find out. Where are you guys at? I'm on such and such floor. I'm on, like, the 13th floor and with all the meeting rooms. I think east side of the building, I think.
Well, I can tell you exactly where you are once we finish up this mess in the surveillance room. Victor's getting hammered in there.
I got shot once. Give me some slack.
You're a super soldier. You should never get shot.
When you say Vic is getting hammered in there, you just hear...
Not like that.
Okay, well, there goes plans probably 1 through 5 for me.
Meanwhile, I've shouted I'm fine, but my comms aren't on, so I don't remember to, like, do that. So no one hears that except for Nadi.
The terrified people in the room just hear this echoing, I'm fine!
I just, like, go and be like, Victor wants you to know he's fine.
Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised, but still, him down for the count kind of screws things up a little bit. Anyway, yeah, I guess just get here as soon as you guys can. I'll try to keep an eye on things, but I'm going to avoid getting closer if I can. I'm not, you know me, I'm not built for combat. That's why we have Victor.
I mean, I made sure he's only got one way out, so...
Yeah, and that's through me. Currently, I don't like that. I'm just going to stay hidden and keep an eye on things. But if I know him, he's probably not alone. But I wasn't privy to that. He changed the fucking details of the fucking negotiation, and he just starts going off on a tangent about the negotiations and how it went wrong and how he's been slighted, and you're just like, and comms off.
I literally was going to end turning off my comms.
Gideon.
Quick refresher. Are we capturing this guy, or are we killing this
guy? Gideon would prefer to have him alive, so that way there's a shred of the original deal. Like, there's an opportunity for the deal to go forward as he originally planned. But if you kill him, he won't get paid necessarily for the original deal, but Gideon will find a way to spin it to our favor. Or at least his favor.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you, what deal did Gideon have with the CEO of what is more or less a planet stealer corporation?
I imagine that Gideon was hired by a different firm that presented a deal of this planet, will not get sold, and it will stay under its current jurisdiction. Yes, you put all this money into terraforming it, and yada, yada, yada. The reason that they figured it was going to go forward is that they got blackmail on him. Specifically, Gideon got blackmail material on this individual of probably him doing shady dealings with other individuals,
Mhm.
or under the table planet trading, which is a weird sentence that I never thought I'd say out loud. But stuff
That
like
must be a
that.
big table.
Asteroid mining rights. You've got like
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not with any big planets, which is why, he's been fine with it. But like you said, like small asteroid mining colonies, this individual would trade around at a whim. So small stuff,
So
and he finally got caught.
What exactly do we need to make the deal go through?
We basically need his assurances and basically either a written affidavit from him sent to the prospective buyer of the planet, or him to have a call with them and tell them that the deal is off or something like that. Basically something that only he can do to call off the deal.
Okay.
And I imagine the reason that he ran is maybe he got a hint that Gideon had blackmail on him. Gideon may have misspoke during the negotiations, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm running," and in a panic. But like I said, if he does end up dead, Gideon could spin it to a favorable look for us.
Okay.
Good to know.
Correct.
Got it. Want him alive. Got it. Cool.
Alive. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Alive for a given value. All right. Back to Nadi and Victor.
Yeah, what happened to me?
Yes, Nadi, you see stepping through one of the wide circular sliding doors that are the main doorways through these various rooms. Stepping in is a half-armored soldier, like a mix of mesh weave body glove and armored carapace, white and black, and marked with several insignias. They have what looks to be a compound bow, like a compound hunting bow. Very, very small, that runs down the length of their arm, and they just like that. Another electrified bolt locks in down the length of their arm so that they can actually punch with it or launch it out. The figure is vaguely feminine. You assume it's like dark, but given differences of length and body. And they immediately slide into the room, drop down behind one of the consoles, and you lose track of them.
Are there still more targets, or was I successful in neutralizing the security?
Yeah. The security guards are down for the count, but this is one of the elite guards who is basically geared up for this fight.
Cool. I'm gonna see that, and again, we didn't have any intelligence in this, right? We didn't know this was coming.
No, you did not.
So this is just
not at all. Yeah.
It's kind of okay. You're not a mall cop. And I'm just gonna sort of take a quick glance. I don't see them anywhere, right? I've lost.
Yeah, you barely had a chance to see them when they came in because they covered their own entrance by shocking you first. So as you were trying to not crack your own teeth by like, they were already in. So you just got the bare hint of someone came into the room. By the way, don't forget to mark your stress as being shocked.
I just don't have it open digitally.
Oh right, yes, of course you have the piece of paper. Right.
Okay, we are all shocked over here.
Yes.
Cool. I think he's going to immediately go into like scanning mode. He's going to like kind of quietly duck behind a different one to like make sure they lose the beat they had on me, and then just kind of like keep my eye back up slowly, keep my eyes open for like. I know at least they're on that half of the room, and just watching for literally any movement, and like foot already geared, so if I need to launch, depending on how fast they are, collateral be damned, I might just need to beeline it to them if next time they show up.
All right. Nadi, are you letting Are you letting Victor handle this? Are you backing off? Are you heading into the room?
Well,
You need that info for them.
Right. Question for you: am I still hacked into the system?
You have gotten the system to shut down not shut down, to ignore distress calls. Any further attempts are going to require a separate role. Mostly finding the stuff, like finding where everything is.
I don't have a means. Like I don't have weapons, so I don't have and I'm definitely not gonna be able to take her on. So yeah, I'm gonna trust that Victor's gonna do what he can do. I'm gonna keep trying to hack for right now.
All right. So what's your new attempt? What's your new objectives in hacking?
Actually, Sean, before I even get to like the info for Gideon or anything, is there anything in the room, like if I hacked, I don't know, if there's like a security, like a turret or something in the room, like is there anything like that down there that I could try and hack into specifically?
Yeah, sure. All right.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna try and do that to back up Victor for now, because if he's gone, we're all screwed. Doesn't matter.
All right. So yeah. So you've got the basic you've got like the automated security, I guess. Like, sure. There's you spot the automated security turret on the ceiling. It's the kind of thing that is like not readily activated because of the fact that, except in the case of like major hostile takeovers and that kind of thing.
Right.
So this time I am going to actually hit you with disadvantage on pulling that up, because that's like a protected system.
I'm sorry for this to turn on and start shooting at me.
I'm horrified. I do have advantage technically myself that could cancel it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's a 10.
You roll 3 dice and keep the lowest 2.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Roll 3 dice, keep the lowest 2. That's
so just roll 1 extra on top of it, and then.
Yep. Okay, that's. Well, it was a roll for a 6, and then it's intellect, right? So plus 2. So 8.
All right. So, again, this is going to be another counsel where you counsel the systems to behave in a certain way. So, you are going to give them a new truth. This specifically, the turret will be giving them a new truth, but choose the pain of that new truth. Choose what you have to give.
Okay.
Oh.
What is that?
Oh, for a second there, we lost you.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, I feel like this is one of those moments that, like, I have 2 seconds to do this, I feel like, so I'm inputting information very fast, and I very well don't have time to be specific. So this is one of those, like, the person in the super suit is, like, hostile, like, essentially, like, saying, like, oh, shoot them, but that doesn't differentiate necessarily between them. So while it doesn't necessarily target just Victor, it doesn't just target the other woman either. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
The twin laser turret that's like was sleeping up amongst all of like the projectors and wires and stuff like that on the ceiling drops down, and red beams start casting across the green room as it intones in a pleasantly neutral voice that you have 5 seconds to vacate these premises before you are terminated, and it starts sweeping the room. Now, neither Victor nor the other soldier are currently in its line of sight because you're both behind desks, but now you're both, whoever pops up first is going to be targeted if they're within the sweep. So you've got this like cone of little red lines drawing grids on everything as it passes through the room. Nadi, you're fine. You are completely not in its, like, you are not identified as a soldier in any respect, like, ever. So you are free to basically make your way towards the central console. Like you've been hacking into like the security, like this room's security, but for the actual security feeds for the rest of the thing, you have to get to the center of the room.
Yep. Cool. I mean, she's gonna get murked if she tries to move. So I'm gonna go and just sprint in there as fast as I can to try and access this.
All right, Victor. You see brief movement. You get tipped off to that movement because of the way that the the cameras, like not camera, the security turret is focusing on that area, and you see the ripple in the air as the not quite there but there form is moving across. Their stealth suit is not exactly great when dealing with infrared.
Perfect.
You can't see them very well, but the security system is, so it's forcing them to stay in cover anyway.
Cool.
What do you do?
I want the turret's eyes, and I know for a fact I can jump to the ceiling. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tank a shot. I know I'm gonna have to like either deflect or take a hit depending on how this roll goes. But I'm gonna jump up to be right, like perched next to the turret, like that thing where you're too close to a ranged enemy for them to hit you, so that I can see where it's aiming and use that as my kind of laser sight and go for it.
Sure. All right. So you kick yourself up, and you're basically doing like what is like a floor to ceiling flip, more or less. If I'm seeing this right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's that turn around, then 3-point land on the ceiling, and then just fingers in, kind of so I can hold for a second.
Yeah. Go ahead and face adversity using your force or finesse doesn't really matter, but with disadvantage because of the fact that it will be trying to shoot you down.
This is very important to me. I'm going to burn my advantage to cancel out the disadvantage. Can I do that?
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Come on. Okay. Well, that's fine. 8.
Oh.
All right.
I probably didn't need to burn that advantage,
So,
but that's okay.
So you get one thing you wanted to achieve. You are basically up with the turret, and you are technically outside of its cone of fire now.
Sure.
It doesn't actually focus on you. It doesn't focus on you. But the GM gets to enact one or more existing threats or introduce new ones.
Yep.
So it briefly fires off a couple of shots in your directions, but it doesn't it doesn't track you. So as soon as you pop out, it fires once around there.
Oh, I swear to God.
And you take up and you land. A bolt of lightning just strikes you straight in the knee and sends massive pains shooting across. It also flares onto the turret for a second and blanks it before it turns back on.
Did I get
because
a read on
basically
where
it does like
Sorry.
You can see where they are. You have gotten what you wanted. The one thing that you wanted was line of sight on them.
And I know
They
it takes them a second to reload.
have gotten a shot off on you.
Yeah, I've taken hits before.
Yeah. So I forgot. You can have your carapace armor take this stress instead.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what it's there for.
Yep. Okay. So check off that box near your carapace armor.
Got it.
So yeah, you basically this time, since you were expecting it, you managed to like deflect. So most of the shock just kind of leaves this arcing trail. Nadi, basically an arcing light, like a lightning arrow, goes spinning end over your head as you're making your way towards the center of the room, and there's like laser fire going back and forth. We're going to cut over quickly to you've got line of sight of them. You can see their shadow outlined in red because of the laser turret that's pointing at them as well.
Nathan's in the elevator, just like listening to whatever like pop music is playing, singing along.
Where are you heading?
To the communications hub.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, since you are navigating discreetly enough, you're not trying to attack it, to make a seek solutions using finesse. Okay, you're actually quite good at sneaking around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're a scoundrel. Of course you're good at sneaking. Right, of course, sure.
That is a 10 again.
All right, fantastic. So, when you seek solutions, tell me what stands in your way. Like, what is between you and the communications console?
a hostile interposing guardian.
All right. So the door slides open. It's a wide circular, like disc-shaped atrium that kind of overhangs part of the city with like curved windows all the way around, a few tables and whatever. Standing amongst the probably artificial plant life in the center area amongst all the potted plants is a rather large-looking powered armored suit, white and black, with like markings across it, yelling at a few half-armored, like combat-suited soldiers with pulse rifles and like helmets and like the kind of communicators there, who's just basically yelling at them and saying, "No one gets in, no one gets out. You two," he points over there, "patrol up and down, make sure that any sign of movement is alerted to me immediately. You've got your comms? Good." He doesn't know that you're there, neither of them do, but they're going to be heading over to where you are coming from. What do you do?
Is there any like nook or like, even if it's like behind a door or some shit like that, for me to like hide behind as they walk out and just let them walk past me?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and face adversity using your finesse, please.
Damn, I keep rolling 8s in various ways, and then finesse 2.
All right. So you get one thing you wanted to achieve, which is that they pass you by, and they do. And the situation, existing complications advance accordingly. You've got now 2 soldiers with pulse rifles who are making the rounds of the whole communications floor, I guess you could call it. Yeah. And you've got this big super soldier guy who's kind of looking out over the city and just grumbling to himself. He's got his like hands clasped behind his back. He's also got what appears to be a mind link, like a Neuralink shoulder cannon on his shoulder that has like several plugs that go into the back of his skull.
Okay.
All right. We leave you there.
Okay.
This is. I really should stop giving such good situations to split the party.
Literally, one of the questions you asked us was, "Are you with them, or do you want to go in somewhere?" Like you said, "Hey, do you want to be here instead?"
Yeah. This is my bad. This is like I need to like, and this is hell. I'm gonna have to write this in when I'm writing the book. Is like, hey, just keep people together. It's less spinning plates.
Mm-hmm.
It's less spinning plates. So I'm hoping that you guys will start moving towards each other.
I'd love to.
I mean, I'm making my way there. I'm just hitting other things on the way.
Are you making your way downtown, walking past?
I was about to be like, nobody make like. Gideon. A circular door rotates, slides open, 2 locking mechanisms slide out. A armored suit with a completely blank faceplate walks out. The kind of plasteel moldings are all like shiny white, the ballistic fabric dark black, and they have several like markings across them, like lines and that kind of thing. The blank faceplate changes into a whole variety of different like very brief electronic signatures, and it's scanning around. You can see them both in regular vision and in infrared, and you can see that there is a lot of power going into their helmet. They're also heavily armed. Your other eye, your weapon tracker eye, is telling you that they have a pair of pistols on their belt. They have energy packs across on a bandolier, and they have a rifle on their strapped to their back. So they are heavily armed.
Yep.
What do you do? You're currently what? Where are you currently? Like, what's your situation?
I imagine that I am like down the hallway
Mm-hmm.
from them, close enough to just like keep an eye on it and see if they do try to leave the room or if somebody else goes into the room that they're holed up in. I can, observe that, but far enough away where if they see me, hopefully they don't, but if they see me, I've got a good enough head start on running away.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to face adversity using your finesse to remain hidden but keep an eye on them.
Yep.
To sneak.
Yeah. I'm going to use my advantage.
Yes, I'm going to give you disadvantage because the faceplate is actually a full set of sensors, much like your eyes. So it's looking for your heat signatures and other distortions and weapon checking, that kind of thing. So it's a sight off.
Yep. Not a face off. Okay, well, I lose that. That's a 5.
Ooh, first failure.
All right. Things go sideways.
Uh-huh.
All right. The first shot comes almost out of nowhere. They move that fast. And you realize that you've been looking through infrared at them. They fired through a wall, like a thin wall. It's one of those little island meeting rooms, office rooms, in the middle. But they just fired through a thin wall, a glass wall, and a presentation board with marker on it and stuff like that. They just it might not hit you. It might not hit you, but it might. I'm asking you, does it hit you, or does it put you in an extremely bad position? Are you going to be able to be hit and run, or are you going to be pinned? How does Gideon react to being shot at?
Gideon reacts to being shot at. In this scenario, I imagine it does not hit him.
Okay.
But he knows that he is... Game recognizes game, and he knows that he is outclassed in the vision contest here, and the weapons contest here. So there's just parts of his suit are singed and burning, and just whoa! I'm fine. Don't shoot anymore, please.
The other pistol comes out, and he has both pointed straight at you as he walks down the hallway towards you. You can see kind of an outline of yourself reflected in the mask as it scans you, and there's a brief moment of satisfaction to know that it's it doesn't seem to be getting too much of a distinguishing features off of you. Yep. It's trying to be he's probably hooked up to some sort of facial recognition database, and he's yep. The hell is this guy? Right.
Here's a hint. Go to thisfacedoesnotexist.com. You'll have much more success.
So you hear over his mask. Clear. Only one. Want me to ice him now?
No, please no. Please no. Unless by ice you mean make a nice icy cocktail, then I am all for that. But if you mean ice as in dead, please not. Trust me. I know your face scanner thing doesn't really show much, but I am worth way more to you alive than I am dead. Trust me.
Nadi, despite the fighting going on in the background, you glance over and see this scene played out. A armor-suited person, and this is all in blue and white and black.
Right.
An armor-suited person with 2 pistols pointing at Gideon, who is currently on his knees with his hands up, kind of thing.
Not on his knees, just but hands on his feet, hands up, just whoa, I'm not a threat.
Yeah, and it looks like Gideon is currently has been, at least is currently taken.
Great.
Meanwhile, Victor, you're up on the ceiling and you've got eyes on this semi-invisible stalker who basically you can see the punch motion and the brief lightning of another lightning arrow locking into the bow gauntlet. What do you do?
My arms are longer than hers. If I can get there first, it's done. Let's do this. I'm gonna just catapult off the ceiling and take her out.
All right. Describe your entrance movement. Is it a forward flip? Are you doing the hero like the superhero 3-point landing?
It's literally this is something. My suit is shock absorbent. It is meant to take stuff like this. I can do a flip to land, which is what I did on the ceiling, and I have him holding on. When I push off, I'm an arrow. It's like Superman flying straight down. I'm gonna impact her. It's gonna hurt her a lot more than it's gonna hurt me. My suit, and then I'm gonna parkour roll out of it on top of it, just kind of come down. If she if she is not blown to bits by that, which depending on defensive armor, some people are, then I'll have her in a pin, and if not, then...
All right. You launch yourself off. She comes up with another shot that launches the arrow back. The laser turret starts firing at both of you because you're both moving targets right at this point who are wearing combat armor and therefore are threats. So there's this sudden diagonal line of lightning going this way, lasers coming this way, and a giant mech suit coming across the whole thing. Go ahead and roll combat using force because this is demolish foes with violence. There's no other description of this.
I awoke and chose violence.
I am saying, however, that...
Sorry. You first.
I am saying, however, that unless this is a flawless success, you are going to get blasted by both.
12, this is baby.
Well then.
As my boy!
Right. Lightning bolt arrow coming towards you. How do you stop it?
So I've got my fist out and I see the trajectory of this thing. I've now been shot at by 2 of these. I know their whole deal. My carapace armor has sort of a one of those beefy forearm looking things, so it kind of adjusts slightly and it just glances straight off.
Right.
And if I can, hits the turret.
The turret goes. The entire top kind of domed area of the thing is just illuminated in sparks for a second as the whole turret blows sky high. A few shots and the blinding light causes her to bring her arms up, which is where you come down. We're still in full speed lines mode here. Describe how you put the hurt on.
So as the arms come up and I can see my fist, I was going for chest. It's an easier target. I was already sort of adjusting. But right. Seeing the arms there, instead I'm going to switch and reach forward and grab an arm and kind of use that to push myself over them with momentum, and then as I land to sort of grab, swing over, and just slam her into the ground.
Floor plates buckle, rivets fly upwards. There's a big smash as a bunch of consoles break and chairs and tables go flying. She reaches up and there's a lightning bolt that punches up towards you along her arm as she loads in another arrow, but in a close combat. How do you defend yourself?
So it's loaded into her thing, right?
Yeah, she loads another one and just punches up towards you, but you've got her shoulder and arm.
Free hand, catch the arm here, break mechanism, sending electricity through her.
There's lightning cuts through each of your fingers, you see it running down your fingers. There's her legs kick up. Tell me how you take them out.
As she's sort of twitching there, since she's not dead, and that's fine, I can keep it that way, we can have a hostage. I just sort of give a not bad. Tries to think of a one-liner for a second, can't, and just straight to the face, nose break unconscious.
Right. The helmet cracks. The helmet visor cracks. Her head kind of pounds inwards further into the buckled floor plating. Decent armor. Not exactly as tough as yours, but much more agile. And of course, the stealth components make it. You need to be flimsier. You need to have a certain amount of flexibility there.
Right. Gonna sort of straighten up and be something about shocker. Is that anything? Nadi, is Shocker anything about a one-liner taking her out? Is that anything?
I'm shocked you didn't do it sooner.
Thank you. Start dragging the body over to Nadi.
Can Ella like come over and like on his little screen, like display screen, just says 10 out of 10. And it's like like a little victory fanfare, like after a battle.
I don't want your pity. Just shove that away.
All right. So you have sight. You know exactly where they are because coming into now that you have the visual, like the security cameras, you see the duelist soldier, the duelist elite soldier, plus the CEO Tevonam comes up behind, and you have Gideon there, who basically you can hear over that is Tevonam is just saying, "She's the entire problem. Shoot him already." And the other guy's just saying, "You're sure about this? Because so far we haven't killed anyone yet. Dead people means way extra paperwork and money."
We're hearing this, yes?
Yes.
While this is happening, I'm just going to look to Nadi and be like, how quickly can you get me to him? Fastest route.
I don't know the answer to that question. How is the fastest route, Sean? I would probably be able to see that, yeah?
Yeah, the fastest route right now is that single elevator that is currently in Nathan's control.
Yeah.
But so we cut over to Nathan. Nathan, you are aware of what's happening here.
Okay.
But you've got this bruiser of a powered armored tank plus two other pulse rifle wielding soldiers who are kind of patrolling the area. They don't know you're there.
Mm-hmm. So I get a sense that shit's going down upstairs.
You've been hearing through the comms.
Yeah. Can I get back?
You can. You're still close enough to the elevator to get back.
Okay. I was debating whether or not I wanted to try to take this big guy out or just skip this and go straight upstairs. All right, I'm gonna skip it and go straight upstairs.
I'm going to warn you that by doing that, because I said that they were patrolling around the area and they were heading they're around where you are. You going into the elevator, they won't be able to stop you, but they will know that you're heading, that somebody is using the elevator, right? It'll turn on.
Okay.
It'll attract their attention. They'll be able to follow you, but since there's only one elevator, they're going to be taking the stairs.
Okay, in that case. Would you consider these security guys, since no one has noticed me yet, would they be considered vulnerable?
Oh, absolutely. They're super vulnerable.
Can I walk into the big room with the big guy, and I would like to use prey, if I could.
And what are you going to take from him? You don't have the tools, I don't think, to take his life. He is too heavily armored. He is way too heavily armored to take his life. The two small security guards are very vulnerable to you. He is not. Like, that guy is like the antithesis of vulnerable. You could attack a car with more effect.
Okay. Maybe not then. I was kind of hoping there was like something like big I could drop on him.
he does not have a flashing weak point for massive damage, I'm afraid. He's not a giant boss crab.
That circuitry in the back of his head felt like a massive weak point.
I will say yes. You could cut his neural impulse link to his shoulder cannon. That would just leave you with a giant metal armored dude, not unlike Victor, swinging at you with his fists. He wouldn't have a cannon.
Not really that dangerous.
Nah. Okay. In that case, I will settle for the two patrolly guys.
Sure.
Can I take their consciousness?
Absolutely. Yep. So prey, the way that prey works is that you take something from someone who is either vulnerable or trusting. Trusting is with influence, vulnerable is with finesse. Okay. Usually it's pickpocketing or sometimes stabbing them in the back and taking their life. But in this case, it could just be cautioning them. How are you taking their consciousness?
Sneaking up and
All right, sure. All right, there are two of them, so they are watching each other. I would ask you to roll, roll finesse, but with disadvantage, please. Actually, no. Cancel out the disadvantage because of darkness, like low light levels and that kind of thing. So it's basically going to be even. Otherwise, you would have an advantage, but if it's only one guy. But
well, in that case, I'm gonna use my advantage that Harris gave me.
All right, fine.
Thank you, Harris.
These people just dropping bits on you.
They gave every one of the crew got advantage once so far. So
never mind. I'm not going to use it because I didn't need it.
Right.
That's a 10 plus 2.
All right, fantastic.
Nice.
So, there's a grip of a strap here, a grip of a shoulder, like the vest there. Crack of two helmets colliding with each other, like cracking their little like visors, and they both drop.
And if they have like a key card or something on them, I'll take that too.
They do actually. They do. It is basically access to most floors and most elevators.
All right. I will take that and head back to the elevator then.
All right. You are of course in communication with them, so you know that they need extraction up to the one of the middle upper floors, basically the conference floors.
Can I also take? This might be asking too much, but can I also get tuned into their communication frequency?
You can grab one of their communicators, but you'll need someone who has a much higher intellect than you to attune that. Your intellect is -1. You're like. You don't even know how to like program your iPod, man.
That's fair. But I know someone who has a good intellect, so I'll just take it.
Right. I am going to say that since it is 8:30, it would be a good time for a break right about now,
Yep.
as the elevator opens to let Victor and Nadi in with Nathan on board. Nathan, who has the control of the only elevator. So. Gideon has been taken hostage and might be executed, and the three of you are listening to music as the loading screen starts.
Make the thing go faster. Use the tech hack and make the thing go faster.
I don't think that's something I can do. I can't even get this music to stop, and that would be my first duty.
Meanwhile, Nathan's kind of jamming to the music.
I love that, because it's always like something that was played like 20 years beforehand. So you're like, I remember this.
All right, guys, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, actually.
We're back. I think.
Are we?
Hello?
Yes, we are. Cool. I was checked for the visual cues of like when I see the desktop audio going. We're good. We're good. All right, we are back in. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Okay, go on.
All right. So, the three of you, Nadi, Victor, and Nathan, are in an elevator moving up to the mid-upper levels where a lot of the deal making happens, a lot of the conference rooms are, and that kind of thing. Gideon, we cut over to you. I'm sorry, you're still eating. I apologize.
You caught me between slices. You're good.
We cut over to you with this soldier with 2 pistols pointed at your forehead, and Tevonam reconsidering his decision. He's like, "No, you're right. If this guy dies, there's going to be an inquiry. He's part of the whole deal-making process.
Yes.
Can't afford to have him dead. However,
Exactly. I'm worth way more alive than dead.
because you can sign off on the deal, can't you? You've been given that authority. So now, we finalize the deal. I want you to make a call. Come with me to my offices." And he looks around and says, "Are all the elevators down?"
Yeah.
Bring
We
him
can
with
wait here.
us.
I think there's one still working. We can wait here for that.
Bring him with us. He says, and they march you over to the stairwell. You have the guy has one hand on your shoulder, and the pistol at the back of your head. And they're marching you up the stairwell towards Tevodam's private offices.
All right. How many floors up is it?
It's around 4 floors.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the stairwell itself is much nicer than the lower floor stairwells. It's actually like a proper spiral staircase with like
It's
glass
a private
outside.
stairwell.
Yes, yeah. It's made to look fancy, even if he only uses it for his like morning jog.
So pretentious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see out in the city all the other towers and sparkling lights and the occasional starship coming in from orbit. Do you do anything during this, or do you let them march you up to his private
Gideon
areas?
protests using the stairs, but I imagine there's just a light tap of the muzzle of the pistol against the back of his head. Okay. Take the stairs, but if I'm out of breath for the next 5 or so minutes, I warned you.
You guys know this, by the way. You guys are hearing that he's taking the stairs.
Higher. It's up more. It's up more. He went up more. You got to make the thing go up more.
I'm making the thing go up more.
Thank you.
But along the way, once they're on the actual stairs, Gideon will press. It was Tevonas, right?
Yeah. Tevodam.
Sorry. So, Tevonam, New Deal wasn't exactly part of the deal, but I'm not against hearing you out. We can always come to an agreement. What exactly were you thinking?
So he basically just says, "I'm going to write something down, and you're going to read it, and we're going to send it, and then the deal will be made. You will be acting as the intermediary, as you do, and you have no choice in the matter."
Gideon just I imagine he's in front and not looking at Gideon. Gideon just smiles, like, "Okay, yeah, you think I have no say, but okay, you don't know me." But what he actually says is, "Okay, are we?" I think it's safe to assume that you're not honoring the original deal, right? You're going to continue to renege on that and go with something completely different, right?
Gideon, I'm going to ask you to impress him using your influence, but
Disadvantage.
But with disadvantage. Because he turns around and he's got like such a hateful look in his face, and he's like, I do not renege on appropriate deals.
You're right. No, you're right. It does depend on how you define reneging.
There's only one definition of it.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yes.
Either A, do we know where this guy's office is, what floor it's on, or B, has it been mentioned in this conversation that has been going on as they're walking up the stairs?
You do know where his offices are, because it is part of the series of floors that are completely barred to you, even if you have key cards.
Great.
Yeah, the elevators refuse to go there.
More on that later.
So we have to take the stairs too once we get to as far as we can go.
That is a possibility.
Okay, so that's a 6.
That's a 6. All
Not
right.
good.
You've pushed too far, and they have pushed back. The back in this case is definitely a backhand, followed by falling on your back down the stairs, and then being roughly grabbed and pulled back up. You have bruised and bleeding on your as a stress now, if you would put that in.
Would that qualify as a wound as well?
No, just stressed.
Okay.
Stresses can clear easy enough. Like it just requires rest and let the swelling go down. Wounds are things that you need to go get. You need to go get professional help to deal with.
Okay. Just gingerly like touching his face, feeling just like, okay, I hope you didn't break anything. Okay,
This is the money maker.
Good. This will literally. That's who he is. Okay. I get it.
Yeah, he said, you and your associates managed to screw me over once, and it would have cost me so much money. Now, we're making a deal where I'm calling the shots. And you, he says, pointing to the soldier, if he says something else, break some of his teeth.
Okay, no. We don't need to go that far. Believe me, we do not need to go that far. This may surprise you, but this is not the first time I've been in this sort of situation. I know, read exactly what's on the script. Do not deviate. Do not pause too long for breath. Don't blink too far. Don't do anything out of sorts. Don't do it, or I'm shot and I'm dead. Believe me, I get it.
They start marching you up the stairs again. All right. So, as I mentioned, the elevators refuse to, like, when you punch for the higher button than what you had originally, the floor that you were already gone for, it just tells you that you do not have clearance for that.
What does that mean? What does clearance mean?
It means that you are not.
No, sorry. This is in-game. Victor is asking. What does clearance mean? What does that mean? Why aren't we going on?
It means the elevator said no.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna climb up to the roof and start. Is there an access panel I can open?
Absolutely.
Just open it up, climb up on top.
Sure.
Come on.
Are we doing piggyback again?
He goes, well, there's 2 of you, so no.
Huh. So, bridal style?
Yep.
You can piggyback him. I'll be fine.
Great. Piggyback.
Okay. without hesitation. Not easier for the ride.
How many floors up is it?
It's 4 floors up.
4 floors up?
Got it.
Race to the top?
He goes, yeah, okay. Remember, you want tight hands, loose wrists. And I'm just going to jump.
And I'm going to use my jet boost to...
I'm doing like a My Hero Academia, like do like off the walls.
That's what I was gonna do with the jet boosts.
So you're just like crossing each other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But one of us has the move maneuver.
Damn it!
It is true that
I don't even know what the word maneuver means. That's not true. That's definitely in my military record.
Definitely.
Yeah, but you don't know how to spell it because there's like so many E's and U's and O's.
I don't know how to spell the word cat. It's Victor wasn't given a formal education in that sense. He learns what he needs to know. Right. Reading is not on that list.
No.
Doors coming. The closed door is coming up. Since I'm not going to ask you to roll because it's going to be. There's no danger. There's nothing stopping you from doing this. But since you have the maneuver, I'm gonna let you decide how do you burst into Tevonam's private chambers.
Well, I was hoping if we can listen in on comms to get there before he does, since he's taking the stairs.
Yes, you do.
Okay, then let's get in there and set up an ambush.
All right.
For pride's sake, can I roll versus versus Nathan to see who gets there first? It's okay.
Sure. No, I'm down.
Go ahead.
I rolled 2 6s.
Damn it! I have an 11 total. You get there first.
On the most unimportant roll.
Yeah, this maybe if you get like double ones next time, I take full blame for the wasting of your good luck.
You're gonna get there ahead of them, but not that far ahead of them, because you were starting from much further down in the elevator than they were, so you won't have time to fully set up turret and turret positions and stuff like that. The area that you're in right now is tall chambers, multiple rooms that are offset from each other with small sweeping staircases. There's a lot of artwork on display, false wood flooring, wood paneling, that kind of thing. The overall area has a sense of a certain amount of class to it, much more space than any of you have seen as far as living areas. Each room is about the size of someone's home elsewhere. So huge sprawling rooms with statues in the corner, paintings on the walls, drapery, long polished wooden tables. All of these side rooms are centered around a 3-story tall audience chamber. There's no other way to describe it. It's just open flooring, a series of small tables that are set up along the edges of the room, and then one large table down the center with a very tall, high-backed chair at the far back of it. The wall, dominating the wall, and I'm talking about a 2-story tall screen that is currently inactive. It's just black, but you can tell that it's a holo projector screen. So this is this is his
lair.
His lair. It's his private audience chamber for him and his cronies. You can hear the sounds of the constant drone of Gideon talking coming up the stairwell.
Yep.
It's just it's nonstop.
Great. Are we up there yet, by the way?
Yes, you're
Okay,
in this kind of large series of chambers that are all open to each other with French doors, glass doors and that kind of thing.
Lovely. I see all of this, and I turn to Victor and say, I'm burning this all to the ground.
Fantastic. Wait. Is this...
Get on top of one of them tall statues.
Is my priority protecting Gideon or taking out the target?
Are you literally asking me that?
At this point, both of you guys, but yes.
Okay.
Get on top of that tall statue, and you're gonna take out the security guy when he gets in.
Who's protecting Gideon?
I will distract them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Up I go.
All right, so you wall jump, climb.
Yep.
And I will also tell Nadi to find some place to hide and possibly hack into a system.
I was is there anything around I could use?
Behind his desk or something. So,
seek solutions using your intellect. Tell me
Okay.
what your drone is telling you.
Okay, that's a good guess. Sorry, I'm looking for that move. So it's just a basic roll plus intellect, right?
Yes.
Sweet. Seek the truth, right? That's what it is?
Seek solutions.
Okay, sweet. Oh, that's not awful. That's 8.
Yeah. Are you on the new character sheet?
I thought I was. Let me see solutions. Nope, I don't. I thought I opened it.
There was probably a more recent link than the one you saw to the character sheets.
No,
let me relink it. Let me relink it. Just because that's good.
Sorry, dude. I swore I opened that one.
Actually, it is in our general chat. I linked it there.
V6, right? That's the one I'm using?
Oh.
No, it's today's date.
Oh, well, that might be why then.
Yep.
Did you also...
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Did we link the wrong one to the chat then?
Well, Jake may have done that. Yep. Sorry guys, that was me.
Well, if you've been following along at home, I've got some distressing news for you.
I see.
Only one of those is the right character.
Oh god. Okay. Yep.
Oh wow. Yeah. Nobody's been following along with the right rules at all.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. That was my bad. All right.
These things happen.
Okay.
I got you.
6 solutions. Got it. So you get an 8, so that you see the way forward, but choose 2 from the list above. A harmful, unpleasant location, a questionable, unsavory act, a hostile, imposing guardian, or your burden. Oh.
Yeah. So basically, you can find what you're looking for. You found what you're looking for, but you also tell me what's in the way, what you need to overcome.
I mean, I feel like my burden doesn't make any sense here.
It does. If you go choose your burden, that's on me to figure it out. Don't worry. You can. Go ahead. In fact, if you want, I'm going to suggest a questionable, unsavory act and your burden.
Sure, go for it. I'm down for suggestions.
I'm very excited.
You see his private consoles, which control most of like the lighting, the heating, and stuff like that here. You also see a number of his personal servants, valets, that kind of thing,
Okay.
who are currently huddled in that same area.
Okay. Which means, for anybody who doesn't know, my burden is champion of the downtrodden, which means I can't mess with them.
Yeah, they are right now holding various stick-like metal objects. Like they're holding like one is holding a small statue. One is holding like golf clubs, and they are all banded together against you, who have just burst in here, and they're kind of using his personal chamber, like his sleeping area off on the side where his personal consoles are, as their safety area. But everything is all open, like it's all an open concept rooms. They are. You would have to go through them to get anywhere near one of his consoles, and his consoles are probably like air shielded, so you need to like actually physically plug in. They're not going to let you, and more importantly, they are probably going to get hurt by what's about to happen next. So you have access to his console. If you can get to it, you can access it without any problem. But you'd have to physically get through them to get it. That's your burden, and that's your questionable, unsavory act.
All right, I'm in position, mounted 30 feet in the air, far away from everyone.
For now.
Oh god.
And I would have been like just standing in, not like right in front of the door, but like probably like 20, 30 feet out from the door that they're going to come through.
All right.
Standing there with my hand on a holster on my belt.
All right. A bleep notifies that the door is opening. Tivonam walks in, and he says, "Will you shut up already?" What? As he sees you.
Now you all hold on there right now. And I hold my hand out. I see you got my friend there.
While he's distracted,
Hey, Nate.
Can I launch the dueler, the pistol guy?
He's in the doorway. So
Okay,
both Gideon and the duelist are past the doorway behind them.
Oh wait.
Now, can we just talk about this like gentlemen?
You see Gideon shaking his head side to side. Tried that.
Y'all definitely have the advantage right now.
Gideon, you hear... It sounds almost like ice, like very, very thin, like snow hitting glass. Like, like this little tinkling sound of little ice crystals hitting glass as the blank faceplate of the duelist starts registering a whole bunch of data all at once.
So he's standing behind me.
He's standing
right?
behind you, but slightly off to the side. And the hairs on the back of your neck give you the impression that his gun is sliding not directly at the back of your skull anymore. Like, your hairs are kind of giving you that impression.
Yep. Gideon's going to seize this moment and with it turn his left hand all the way around and shock him in the face. Or a faceplate.
Ooh, yes, right. Because, okay, so for those of you who don't know, Gideon is not all human. In addition to both of his eyes being cybernetic, his left hand from the forearm up is actually a shock baton that just acts as a hand. So it just opens out and...
one weapon he carries.
Yeah.
Carries.
All right. You're doing this, and at the same time, Nathan is trying to talk them down. Are you waiting for Nathan to act, or are you
less trying to talk them down and more get all of their attention on me?
Okay, all right. You're perfectly within your rights.
Talking them down was not the goal. If it can be achieved, sure, but getting their attention on me was the goal.
Right. So Gideon, I'm going to ask you to prey on him using your finesse, but with a major disadvantage because you can't even see him because he's behind you.
Yep.
Can I use the commotion of this happening to... Thank you for the follow. We got a follow and a raid, by the way, guys.
Woo, thank you.
Can I use the commotion as a distraction to perhaps advantage or just regular launch myself at Tay and take him out?
Okay, sure. So you're basically dropping down from the statue of Tay.
Straight line. Straight. How big? Wait, hang on. How big is this statue?
So the main chamber that he's just walked into, with like reflective flooring and stuff like that, is 3 stories tall. The statue itself is a good 20 feet. Sorry, that was my son dropping something.
Is there any part of him that is brittle enough that could break a chunk of himself off the statue and bludgeon him with?
You could kick the head right off. The head is around almost as big as you, right? It's a.
Do I have that kind of accuracy? Because I would love to bludgeon him with his own stone head.
I am right behind him.
That's the only thing. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to kick off of his face, his stone face, and just beeline to punch him in his real face.
Okay.
At risk of overusing a move, if I've got it, it works.
Right. All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
No. That's fine. That's fine. It's cool. Nadi.
Yes.
We're gonna get everybody's move and then resolve them all at once.
Great.
Nadi. This is happening. You've got what is basically a pistol standoff with a large super soldier dropping down from above. The help, basically, all of Tevonam's assistants and like his house what's the word I'm looking for? Housekeepers. That's it.
Yeah.
His housekeepers suddenly rush forward towards Nathan, and they're rushing up behind him because he's threatening, as far as they can see, he's threatening their lord, more or less. Like, let's face it, their corporate overlord, the one who pays their bills and the one who keeps them out of poverty.
Oh my gosh, this is the worst situation for me.
I said, hey, I could give you a questionable, unsavory act and your burden both at once.
You did. Thanks. I hate it. Oh god. Okay. Is there anything in the room, Sean, that I could use to like block them, like barricade the door with like a table or something like that?
Oh yes, absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. Cool. Okay, so yeah, you can basically kick that main, like I said, like, there's the big kind of palatial table, like polished wood and stuff like that has like little decorations on it or whatever. You can just toss that over and make a barricade. Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do right now, because it's more important to keep them out of harm's way than get to this computer.
All right, fantastic. All right, let's resolve this. First and foremost.
Josh, your background went away.
Yeah.
Oh no. What happened?
You're no longer in space.
Yeah.
We know your secrets.
The illusion is ruined.
What?
My immersion.
My virtual background stopped existing, so I guess you've got green screen for now.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no.
I don't know why.
It's fine.
I hacked into
Fine.
I'll have to pick your brain about green screen later, by the way. At some point I need to get one.
Yeah, clearly I'm the expert.
I didn't say applying something to the green screen, I just said buying one. You have the physical object.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Alright, we'll start back with Nathan. There is an extreme tension where you get the feeling that you're about to be caught in a major crossfire. Everything starts moving at once. What do you do?
All right. So his hand was moving away from Gideon, and I'm assuming towards me.
He's just moving it slightly enough to be able to get his shot on you, and I don't know, like, are you aware of him, like the third person back, of him shifting his aim so that he's no longer aiming through? Because I realized, actually, and this is a slight retcon, I don't think he's going to be moving that far, because if we remember from as established in his thing, he can shoot through stuff pretty easily. He can calculate trajectories through things, and Gideon is about the same level of penetration as a thin wall or a balsa wood. He's got force -1. I don't think he's going to be stopping the shot very much.
Nope.
Wet paper. I think he's more just calculating so that he doesn't get Tay at the same time.
I would say that if he was scanning me, he would not register a weapon on me. Even though I'm holding my hand on my holster, he would register there's no weapon.
Right. Okay. But you said that you pointed your gun at him.
No, I said I was holding my hand up at him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay. So he's not going to take a shot yet.
Like a whoa, but my hand on my holster.
Ah, yes, because
to show that I'm ready
blaster.
to throw down. Yeah. But I wanted to talk about this.
Okay, so he is not going to threaten a shot. He's not going to get a shot off if things go medium. Right? Okay. Like, as a partial success, he's not ready to shoot because he's like, this can still be salvaged. So,
okay.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Gideon, then. Yep. This is where you get to do your...
Yep. So I got an 8.
Okay.
All right.
Total.
Yes.
All
right, so this is just going to be a straight-up face adversity, I think. Wait, was it a face adversity?
It was prey.
Did I say prey? Okay.
Yeah, prey versus finesse.
Okay. So what are you taking from them? Note that I'm going to be restrictive on what you're allowed, like what you can feasibly take from them. Mostly because of given the angles and like the situation and stuff like that. You won't be able to like steal their wallet. You probably won't be able to kill them either.
No, Gideon's not about killing if he can avoid it. But no, he is planning. His goal is to shut down their helmet So they have
About to say, yes.
no HUD, no vision, nothing.
Oh, you take their sight.
Take
Nice.
Take their sight.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Oh, nice. Okay, fantastic. However, because it was a 7 to 9, choose how you take it. Choose one of the 4, one of the costs of taking it. And I doubt you wanted to go as tediously, slow, meticulously, because people are going to get shot way before then.
Nope. Again, wet paper. Messily loud, blatantly obvious.
I was about to say, I'm a big fan of that one.
There's just this.
We're aware, yes.
Tay just here's this huge crackling.
Yeah. So yeah, and the leftover is the once clear, like blank faceplate now has radial cracks of 5 fingerprints perfectly imprinted onto their, just like the perfect like imprint of your handprint on their face, and they just like scrabble and like just they're trying to get their helmet off and are swearing a blue streak. Tay dives to the side and rolls. He is now aware that this has gone wrong, which is where Victor, you are coming in like a meteorite, but because of the fact that Tay is diving and rolling, your arc is slightly compromised. So unless you had advantage, it's gone, in the sense that because the violence is now blatant and obvious, he's no longer going to be caught unaware by you dropping down on him. So flush straight up. Are you going for combat, or are you going for face adversity? I'm giving you the option. Face adversity gives you one thing that you want. Combat gives you take them out. That's an important distinction, right? Combat is better. It's also more restrictive in what the outcomes can be.
Right.
I was literally told to take out the target, so I think I'm going to take out the target.
All right. And dropping full force down on him, so demolish, I think. I don't think you have a choice of demolishing him or not. You're just dropping from a statue down on top of him. He's not armored. He's wearing a business suit.
You know, I think I know how to deal with armored soldiers versus civilians. I think this would be face adversity. I don't think I'm trying to kill him.
Okay, so you're
so
pulling your
I'll
punches.
use face adversity specifically so I can refrain from killing him if it comes down to that.
Sure.
Using
Force still, because it is strength. Actually, describe how you're going to take him out. Actually, if it was Force or Finesse, it's the same bonus, isn't it?
Same stat, yeah.
Let's roll.
Plus 2 on both.
With plus 2.
Fantastic. That's another 12.
All right. You get one. You get
Double
one
fives,
thing
baby.
you wanted. You get one thing you wanted to achieve. What did you want to achieve with that?
I want him detained. I want him down. I want him specifically. I want him in an incredibly vulnerable position. He's my hostage now.
Right. So I'm going to call that, like, maybe you can come up with a better name, but a claw technique of you land all like 4 limbs around him, cracking the ground. And it's like a hand dropping down from above, like it's like the master hand from Zelda. Just
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. So, just, hey bud. I'm gonna scoop him up and just like straight like bear hug. You know the position you put people in if you're about to crack their back, but like you know this is worse. So that's my hostage situation. If I squeeze too hard, I will break this man in half.
Right. There, as you land around him, there is a crumph of bluish-green energy as whatever crappy civilian-grade shielding belt that he had on him just pops. Like it's meant to like stop like stunner shots and that kind of thing. It's not meant to stop like 300 pounds of metal and muscle dropping down on him. So just yeah, it pops and you have that. Nadi.
Yeah.
Your force is 0. Yes, sorry.
I was hoping to take advantage of the soldier guy being blinded temporarily, and hoping he would be vulnerable, so I could use prey.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes,
and
okay.
I'm just over here biting my nails about what's about to happen with Nadi, honestly.
Yes.
Take your time, really. Take your time.
Rolled a 10. I rolled an 8 plus 2.
And what are you going to take for them? So your gun comes up?
So the outstretched hand, suddenly, gun in it, pops out of the sleeve.
Oh, it was in the sleeve.
And shoots the gun out of his hand. I will take his weapon.
Okay. That's good, because I was going to say that would be a distinct disadvantage if you were going to try to kill him, because he was still technically behind.
Yeah.
He was behind Gideon, right? All right. So, Gideon, a shot comes across and just grazes you as you hear it, and the gun behind you is left. The soldier staggers back and pulls off their helmet. Short, spiky hair, couple of scars on their cheek. They look at Gideon with just, like, hate, and they're, like, backing down. So they're backing down the stairs, which means that the line of sight is no longer there for Nathan anymore. You know, they're basically going down the quarter turn down to the next landing. And reaching for the other gun, because, you know, they had 2 plus the rifle in their back, but they only had 1 because they had the other hand on Gideon. So now he's reaching for his other rifle. But he's not pulling it out. He's not pulling it out. He just has it in the gunslinger pose, and he's like, tense, right? Like, how's this going to go down? Yep. But now we've put this off long enough.
Have we?
Nadi, the table goes over, silverware and placemats and various plates and stuff like that, and little ornaments scatter across the floor. The caretakers all like, you know, are pushed back by that, and one of them just screams, "Get out of the way! We gotta stop them!" What do you do?
God. I mean, look, I'm an advocate, so I've got to try and advocate for our case and get these people to stand down right now.
I did, when I saw your character build, I did want to comment on the fact that you chose to be you're an industrial advocate, right?
Right.
But you chose to have -2 in influence, in that you're not influential. You're not a good speaker.
No.
Why does Nadi not have high influence?
So this is something that because Victor and I were meant to parallel each other in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But on the other hand, for me, it's not. He doesn't have good, like, people. Victor, we're trying to, like, start this whole uprising thing of, like, the underdogs. Victor's the face of it, but I'm the brains behind it. So my thing was that I'm not necessarily like, everyone, it's going to be so good, like, everybody smile and get through it. It's like, here are the facts, and here's why you're wrong, and if you actually listen to me, we will actually make a difference. So it's like, it's not like, you're not going to feel great by the end of it, but you would intellectually know, oh, he's correct. So I was relying more on, like, the second hand of the, was it console or whatever it is?
Council, yeah, of reprogramming behavior for the intellect part.
Thank you, there it is. Yeah, so relying on that more, because if not, it's not going to go well.
That's fair. Actually, I apologize. I just realized that you definitely would have triggered your construct ability. So you're industrial, which means that you can reshape an area.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I apologize. That's your other move. So let's forget about the council thing, because your force is better than your influence, let's say. So please roll construct using your force, and let's see what features you're going to add or remove to this current area, because that's indolent industrial does.
Okay, hold on, let me check what that is.
It's +0. You're still at 0 force.
I'm trying to figure out if I should do my advantage. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it because I'm Jake is stressed about this roll, so it's important to him.
Get him.
That's 12.
Yeah!
Right.
Sean's over here just like, I gotta make these rolls worse.
It was an 8. The other one was an 8, so it wasn't really that much worse.
Right. So go ahead and add or remove a feature. Now, my suggestion to you, since you already stated, is you're removing a passage between the rooms, really. Like that's ultimately what you're doing. You grab the table, slam it down to the side, push it all the way up, and it just blocks the doorway, and they're now trapped in that kind of lounge area where the personal console is and stuff like that, like his own little study library area. So all of the help are now confined to that one room. They're yelling blue murder at you because they are still loyal, right? Like they're servants, but they're well-paid servants.
Yeah. To be fair, like at this point, Sean, the stuff we need on that computer necessarily is maybe not the main priority because there's a firefight going on.
Yeah. Well, actually, there isn't anymore. There's now, well, there was a brief firefight which involved all of 3 shots and 1 crumph as something landed in the ground.
Crumph is a good word.
I like that.
And now, the question is, what do you do with this this elite soldier, who currently is in full like gunslinger pose on one stare down? If Nathan even pokes his head over, it's getting shot. Like it's getting a bullet through it for sure. Right
Probably
now, Gideon,
through Gideon.
Right now, Gideon is like in line of sight, like from the I guess roughly the thighs down. I guess because the the difference in landing levels.
Can I interject super quick?
Yes.
Can I give just a little squeeze to our boy and be like, "Hey, call off your dog," and squeeze him a little harder?
He very briefly squeaks like a squeeze toy. he just says, "What do you think this is going to accomplish?"
2, 1. Does he?
All right. So, Victor, go ahead and impress them with your force.
That was the goal. Do I have any sort of advantage on this, or no?
At this point, it's fighting with his desire to see you all dead. So
that's an 8.
Yeah. It's like, all right, but let me go, you asshole.
He goes, "You first," and squeeze him a little harder. Break a few ribs.
I was gonna say, hey, Victor, why don't we trade dance?
So the 7 to 9 says describe how they see you as soon as you give them proof for the assurance they wanted. I would say breaking ribs is proof of what I'm about to do to him. Does that count? Or
I see. So it's more of the proof of the threat. Okay, so you do hurt him then.
Yes.
So
100%.
there is. Right. All right. There is the faint sound of cracking, and he screams. Okay, so he just yells. It's like, all right, back off. This has gone far enough. The soldier kind of, his position is he shifts slightly, but he's not trusting it. He's not trusting you.
That's fair.
Can I walk over?
After all that, Gideon is just going to just call down, just like, it's no more need for bloodshed. Believe me, I've bled enough for a week at least at this point. There's just like a little bloody nose, and and Gideon's just like, I could have use for you. You would do good. You would do good at a different company. After all this is said and done, we should sit down and chat. I've got some good opportunities for someone such as you.
For a go-getter like you.
Victor, have you released him, or is he still
Not yet, no.
Clutched?
I haven't seen my guy yet. Once my guy's safe, then I'll release him.
All right. Well, yeah, that's well, you do see him because
quick question.
He's talking to.
Oh, I thought he was through the door.
Sorry, you're talking to the soldier. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is Gideon beyond the threshold of the door and inside the room with us, or is he still outside the door?
He's still in the
Yeah,
stairwell.
he's still outside the door.
He's still in the stairwell. He's trying to convince the pistol guy. The pistol guy just shakes his head and just says, "You couldn't afford me."
I can afford anybody.
Okay, so then there's a brief pause.
Remember,
A
consider
small
this.
data point appears on your standard comms console. He's like, "Contact me. We'll talk."
Indeed we will. I appreciate you abstaining from any further violence today. And then Gideon's going to turn around and strut into the room.
Bloody nose strut, but strut.
Bloody nose and bruised, and his hair's mussed up, but walks into the room. Victor. And just like straightening his suit, brushing it off. I appreciate for you getting a handle on our client here. But I don't believe that that's necessary anymore. Right, Tay? I can call you Tay, right? You can call me Gideon, if that makes you feel better. We were going to strike a deal, weren't we?
So he lowers himself down and he sits down on the floor and just is holding his chest and breathing heavily.
I haven't let him go yet.
Oh, you haven't let him go.
I'm gonna look over at Nadi first.
I'm not letting him go yet. Absolutely not. Keep him there.
I'm gonna hold him. Sorry, orders.
Yeah, he's having a lot of trouble breathing.
I will
Oh,
loosen
yeah.
the grip.
I don't breathe, but
It's also very awkward because you're talking to his back because he's face to face with.
It's fine. I don't need to talk anymore. The talker's here. I'm good.
Yep.
No, I meant Gideon is talking to his back because he's face to face with you because with Victor. It's
I
a
thought I
right?
had him turned around.
No, but you had said about how to do the backbreaker thing, right? So I was imagining that he was
I had him when you pick someone up and bounce them and they're facing that way.
Oh, okay, all
So,
right.
yeah.
You can do it either way, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that's cool.
Either way has no bearing on Gideon. But just...
While this is
So
going
we
on,
were
can I
about to
just
strike
go
a
over
deal?
and close the door?
There's deep labored breath, and he just says, "Any deals will be null and void because the cops are coming."
Oh no,
They are?
the cops.
Just peer around. Nadi, did you do the thing with the alarm yet? You canceled that, right?
yeah, come on, you know me better than that.
I know you better than that. I know. But this guy. What do you mean the cops are coming? Alarms have been disabled for quite some time, my friend.
Living ones, yeah.
You think you are.
Not my emergency. What do you call those?
Silent
the bracelet things,
Oh, life alert type of deal.
not mine. I'm important. You
Oh,
are going to face
yes. No.
the full extent of the law.
You are very important, Tay, which is why I need to keep you alive for the time being, and I need you to progress with the deal as it currently is. Do that, and I can assure you that the cops will not be here, and that no charges will be pressed, and we will take you to a nearby hospital. And you will be fixed up free of charge.
So he just says, "I am not making a deal in this situation."
No. You are not making a deal. You've already made one, and I expect you to honor it.
Gideon, I'm going to ask you to either impress him with your influence at a disadvantage,
Mm-hmm.
or impress him with influence at an advantage, but with the caveat that if you roll poorly, you will have to hurt him a lot more. He probably won't survive. You'll have to go to full blown breaking limbs.
Oh no.
plans that.
You want to care.
Darn.
All right, I'll do the latter. I will roll with advantage.
Attaboy.
All or nothing.
Is it bad that I want you to do poorly?
Fail forward.
I'm split between the two.
So roll
Okay.
roll 3d6 to take the two highest.
So, that's an 11.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So describe how they see and feel about you.
They... Given the brief past dealings that we've had, at least, like, getting the negotiations and the deal set up, and basically everything up until today, they're back to seeing me as that same respected, trustful, negotiator, admin, like, go-between type of person. But now it's more respect through fear, because it's he went back on the deal, and that's like the one thing that Gideon holds near and dear to his heart, is you don't go back on a deal without going through him first.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, fine. You get exactly the deal. He just says, it's in my inner coat pocket, and I hope this gorilla of yours hasn't crushed it.
Whoa. There's no need to use harsh language like
Gorillas-
that.
Oh, I
Victor,
will be. Once I can breathe,
Gorillas
I
are
can
pretty
use
strong,
lots of
right?
harsh
Like-
language.
I don't know.
I'm sure you can.
That's fine.
Victor,
That's fine.
Victor, let him down. He's not running anywhere anytime soon.
We'll see.
I'm gonna look to Nadi.
Fine. If Gideon trusts him, then we can too.
Nate,
I've got my eye on him.
yep. Nate, shoot him if he runs.
I'll shoot him if he says another thing like that about my brother.
What? Is gorilla bad?
It depends on your point of view. I mean, if you like big, strong things, then yeah, gorillas are great. But he's also kind of calling you dumb, I think.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Says the guy who got caught in this, like, very obvious trap, but okay. I will loosen my grip. I slide one hand up to, like, a shoulder and, like, kind of power clamp the shoulder. Just kind of like a thing where you're holding him down a little bit.
Smart.
Yeah, he cripples to his knees immediately. Like he can't hold himself up. He reaches into his like pocket and pulls out like a small pad, and he's just like presses on the thing. He's like, "I've signed off on it." You get an immediate like beep, like a email notification
And
of.
he just pulls out his data pad. Scroll. Fantastic. Pleasure doing business with you, Tay. I genuinely hope that you will remember me for any future deals or negotiations you would like to see through. Trust me, not all of them end this way. Most of them don't, actually.
You'll have a hard time dealing any more from inside a prison cell. The from the windows and stuff like that. The flashing blue lights of the city authority have come in.
Mm-hmm.
Without needing you to roll anything, Gideon, you know that as one of the leading figures, this guy has a bunch of the city authority in his pocket. It's going to be a massive mess. But because the city authority is for this city only, i.e. his little domain, you get out of here, you're pretty much, especially you just hop your ship and leave. Like, that's it. He'll probably have something out for you. But for now, your big problem is, how are you getting away from here? Because the streets are going to be crawling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate, did you say that the ship was the ship here, like, on top of the building, or?
Oh yeah, it's right up there.
You've
Anyone
parked
after a
your
joyride?
ship on his building?
Probably. It wouldn't be our ship. It would probably be like a fly car or something like that.
Okay. Still problematic, but it makes me think that he has one. He has his own private one. I had mentioned that actually earlier.
yeah.
That's what I thought you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
No, but Gideon, seeing the blues, would just look down at Tay and say, well, those are not colors I recognize. I'm used to the more red lights for city officials. But anyway, I digress. Your keys, please.
He reaches into his other pocket and hands you over a key card. This key card gives you access to his chambers for the elevator and also higher, which basically is to go up to the thing. However, the elevator is slightly not functional right now, so the stairs will have to do. That last elevator got punched through by a pair of jumping.
Yeah.
Gee. All right. Thank you, Tay. It's
yeah, you look over, you both,
business.
I'm just imagining both you and Tay look over to the elevator and like the doors are like pushed open that way, like
this
I
will
mean, technically,
unlock your ship.
the car can still just go higher.
That's true. That's a good point.
This card will work on your ship. Full access.
He nods. Yeah.
Fantastic. Again, I hope you consider me for any future negotiations or deals you want to make, and have a good day. Send me the bill for the hospital.
So
He's very good at getting his clients' deal gone through.
Do you guys do anything before you leave?
Can I ask? Look, you can absolutely turn me down on this. There was something I had planned to do, just in case, when we were down in the maintenance room, and I didn't realize we were going to the elevator so soon, so I didn't get to point it out. But I do have demolition charges, and I was wondering, any chance those could still be planted down there?
Absolutely, they can.
I'm just going to hold on to that detonation switch for just a hot minute. Just wanted to ask if I could just have that Chekhov's gun in play.
Of course.
Thank you.
As we go,
Yes.
I think Victor's a little confused. So he's just going to drag Tay with him. Is that what the team's expecting?
Oh, no. Victor. We can leave him here.
He said
he's free to go now.
He said he's important. What's he going to do when he's back out there?
Don't worry.
Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Nadi, was that don't worry from you?
Don't worry. I have it under control.
Alright, drop. Just like lightly toss and tumble across the floor kind of style. Alright, let's go.
Right, you guys start making your way up.
Everyone stay close. I can take shots, you can't. I'm good.
All right.
I'm done.
So, as you guys are making your
one more thing.
Yes.
Can I pull a statue down in front of the door? Just block.
Oh, behind you?
Yeah, slow it down.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of smaller statues, and you just bring it down.
Sweet.
Yeah. As you guys are making your way up, the tables are finally pushed out of the way, and the house cleaners and that kind of thing, the servants are making their way over to him, and you can see him talking on his communicator probably to the police, I am fine, I'm no longer a hostage, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just hear him kind of half shriek because of his wounded chest of just get them. So Victor, you said you're first out onto the windy, windswept top terrace. There's a bunch of lower areas which have huge imported trees that are blowing in the wind. There's a few flashing lights on the end of poles to make sure nothing crashes into it. And on a overhang, there's a very private and very nicely appointed it's basically a limo version of a shuttle, all black and glossy, with the symbol of the planetary corporation on the side, that kind of thing. You don't have a chance to really admire it too much as a massive megaton punch just comes straight across. A huge metal arm slams you across. You, doom, doom. Fortunately, you hit turf, So it's not hard, but you are now in like the gardens. There are trees and leaves falling everywhere. A white power armor with a huge shoulder cannon steps in. It has a plus-shaped lines that just glow on, and you just hear from inside, "Stand down." It walks towards you on Z-shaped, like Z legs. It has a good meter on top of you, over you, as it walks towards you.
Just gonna go.
Question.
Yes.
Is he the only other one up there, other than Victor?
It looks like, yeah, the way is clear. He's basically barreling towards your power armor dude. I'm not sprinting faster than he is, but before he can do anything serious to Victor, would I be able to run up behind him and shock him through the neural implant that's on the very obviously on the back of his head? Okay. This is going to require two things. How are you going to get onto his back, considering that he's a good meter taller than you?
Oh shit, yeah. and catch up to him, because he's got these huge sprinting, like, animalish, like, powered legs. Yeah.
Like he almost looks like one of those walkers from like an ATST kind of thing, but with arms, like big beefy arms.
He's a T-Rex.
So
I'm not looking to like get to him before he gets to Victor necessarily. I'm looking to get there before he's able to do any serious damage to Victor.
All right. All right, so he's closing in on Victor. Is anybody else doing anything, or are we seeing how Victor holds his own?
Can I actually be lagging behind the rest of the group for a second?
Sure. Yeah, you're one flight below.
Well, I was gonna say, can the reason for that be that I'm trying to talk to the house servant people, the whatever housekeepers? I can't remember.
Right. Yeah.
As they're beginning to Tay, as they're going over. I do want to try and convince them, because I know what I hid in the maintenance area, and if this thing goes down, people that I don't want to go down with it goes down with it too.
Right. Well.
So as he's like crumpled on the floor and they're coming around him, can I try and talk with them?
Go ahead and try to counsel them.
Sweet.
Do you reveal that you've hidden explosives?
No.
In that case, roll with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to?
The disadvantage would be canceled if you told them that, hey, you're gonna die like immediately, right? Like it's a much more pressing thing.
Is Tay there? But Tay can hear that, right?
Yeah, Tay can hear that. Yeah. Tay would be able to hear that too, because they're basically trying to tend to him. They're like, "Are you okay, sir?" That kind of thing. And one of them handed him his communicator. At which point you realize that, yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I don't want that. Okay.
All right, so roll 3d6 and take the two lowest.
Do you still have advantage left over somewhere?
That is cocked. Hold on. No, I don't.
Who wants to give him advantage, guys?
It's... which of the two am I using for this? Is it,
The two lowest. Oh, you're using...
Sorry, no, my stats.
You're using influence, for sure. You're not reprogramming them. You're inspiring action.
That's not good. Jake, you just got advantage. Jake, you just got advantage.
Oh, great.
All right, so...
Great, okay.
So, in that case, just roll 2d6.
Great. Well, I'll just take off the lowest number.
It's not 3d6. Take that.
That's true, because that would turn it from disadvantage to advantage. You just got to reroll.
Yeah, please reroll.
Okay.
Just reroll with 2d6. Your disadvantage and your advantage cancel each other out.
It turned out to be the same thing. 7.
All right.
Thank God. Okay.
All right.
You got a nice.
So it's not great, but it's not awful. Thank you to whoever just gave me advantage.
That was Hillary.
It was hell.
All right. So.
God bless you. I love you, Hillary.
Choose the pain of this new truth.
Okay. Boy. All right. You develop a connection. It's fleeting. It will last. It hurts them, others, or society. Oh. It's got to be. It hurts them, others, or society. That's the most like apropos thing for this story. I feel like.
Yep.
But I hate it. Okay. Yep. Do it that way you will, sir.
Yep. All right. So.
I actually need to say it, don't I? I didn't even actually say what I was saying to them.
Yeah. What? Well, I mean, you can gloss over it if you don't feel comfortable with coming up with something on the spot. It's cool. I'm okay with that.
I think it's just like he's just saying like, This industry is dead. The man that you're serving cannot pay your bills any longer. There's no use staying here. If you stay here, you're as good as dead and out on the street. So either you come with us and start somewhere new, somewhere better, or you can stay here and live like corpses for the rest of your lives.
Fuck.
Alright, so
I told you he's not nice about it.
I love it.
Shit.
the hurt as he is, Tay just spits back at them. Go, leeches, all of you. They kind of like they're kind of hesitant, but yeah, they're like, how do we get out? One of them just says, the stairs down, quick, go take the stairwells down.
I don't know how big his ship is.
It's a limo.
I was gonna say you can come with us. Yeah, it's a limo.
Space
Would I know?
lady.
Sean, would I know that?
You haven't seen that. You haven't been up there at all.
No, I wouldn't know that. I'll just say
It's a
that.
limo.
You might want to take my advice and come with me. If you want to try and get out of here before the cops show up, then you're to blame. But I would advise you to come with us.
Yeah. So
If Gideon can,
yeah,
if Gideon can get the guards a new job, they can get you new jobs as well.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, like a kind of like a butler, just says, "But if we go with you, we're going to be criminals just like you. Right now, we're just fleeing. We're innocent."
Right now, you're nobodies either way. And do you not really think a man like this won't throw you right under the bus too? Come on, use your heads. Save yourselves.
Well, they're following you.
Thank you. There's like a look of genuine like relief, like he didn't want to be that mean, but he had to be, and it's just like, thank you. Now, we don't have any time to waste. Let's go to the roof.
All right. Back on the roof.
Yes.
Giant robot fight.
Tell me more. Cool. Does anything need to happen before I do my thing? Is Dan resolving his thing? Is Gideon is Nathan doing a thing? What's happening?
So Gideon was he's going to get within arm's reach of you. Like you're going to encounter each other before Gideon can catch up. But it's getting onto his, like, getting within touching distance of that cable that is going to be the tough part. So right now, what do you do?
Do I see what kind of attack is this mech going for?
So his shoulder cannon is charging up. You can see it glowing red and like the ripples of heat off of it. But he seems to first be using his own power gauntlets, which like ka-chunk into place.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's walking,
cool. I want to basically rip the wings off this guy. I want to take that cannon out before it becomes a problem. So I understand that he's bigger and stronger than me. He ain't faster. So I'm going to rely on his momentum. How close am I by the way, to the back of the? How close am I?
to the edge of the wall. Yeah, you're a dozen meters away. It's
okay.
It's a huge open sprawling thing. It's like you're like in the middle of a park, basically.
Do I still have any wall to work with, or did I go too far from the building? Am I like just flat open lines?
You've got trees to work with. That's basically it.
Even better.
Yeah.
Cool. I am going to.
I guess low, like chest high, like chest high walls, like more decorative, that kind of thing.
I'm going to trust my instincts and my speed, and I'm going to kind of divert power from my suit, kind of take all the power away from the stuff that usually holds it up. So I'm literally just standing, so that I can just put the power wherever I need it. And as soon as he goes in for an attack that he can't rescind, I'm going to then take action. So like basically, once he is swinging and can no longer adjust his course, I'm just going to drop to the ground to duck under it and just uppercut his shoulder cannon off if I can.
All right. So in this case, we're not talking about combat. We're talking about facing adversity.
Sure.
And you are going to be using speed and precision, which is going to be using your finesse. So he comes in, dum dum dum. He's got like his big wind-up swing. It comes barreling in.
8.
All right, you get one thing that you wanted to achieve, and then I enact one or more threats. So, you duck under his swing. He goes right over you. You come up. You punch the thing off. It rips off this thing and is now dangling like it was dreadlocks at the back, like a ponytail at the back of his head. Like the cannon is now pointing towards his ass, so he probably doesn't want to fire anymore. He just it's knocked right off its socket. There's like little on his shoulders, but from your uppercut, his knee comes straight up into your ribs, crunch into your side, and then he basically from his swing just backhands you, sends you spinning across. You are going to take cracked bones. It's going to be stress. It's not going to be a wound. But you've already your carapace has already absorbed as much as it's going to take, so you're getting smashed around inside your carapace armor.
Absolutely.
So one more stress and you are going to be knocked out, though. I'm just warning. You're at 2 stress and your armor is out. So.
Okay. Come on, big.
All right, you've left a furrow. Gideon.
Yes.
You've got a dangling thing that is now much more within arm's reach. You've got a dangling cable, but it's on a swinging back and forth and moving, and this guy is stomping around and swinging his arms, stuff like that. Unless you can get into position somehow, or unless someone else can help you, you will be tackling this with disadvantage, and the penalty will be getting accidentally backhanded by a giant robot. Near a ledge. On a rooftop. Several hundred feet up.
Yeah, Gideon's not dumb. He knows how to paint this, how this picture gets painted.
Punt. Whee!
So Gideon's kind of watching him sway back and forth for a bit. And Victor's been effectively knocked out cold, right?
No. Victor is one stress away. He just got basically kneed in the shin and backhanded away, but now he's picking himself up after leaving that cool dirt furrow in the ground.
Does Victor go, I can do this all day?
No, he does not. Victor does not.
I can do this for another 15 minutes or so.
Not clever enough for one-liners, is what I think we've learned about Victor.
Shock.
By the way, Nathan.
I thought one-liners would have been influence.
Nathan, you. I mean, technically, no. That's a good question. One-liners are straddle between influence and intellect because you need quick wit.
It's a quick. If he were walking into a situation that he knew what he was getting himself into, he would have it. But he's focused on the fight right now, not the one-liners.
Yeah, he needs to write them ahead of time.
Basically.
Oh my gosh, yes!
or actually, we'll probably get Nadi to write him a bunch of one-liners. Yeah. And he's just okay, right.
Wait, hold on, I had something for this. I have something for this. Just wait, hold on, please. Wait, almost there. Wait.
Okay, now I can kick the... Yeah, now I can kick the door in. Before he kicks the door in, he's scroll. That one, yes.
All right, let's go.
It's clobbering time.
So, Nadi, you've made it up by now.
Yeah.
To the top, and you're seeing this fist fight going on. You see also the limo-shaped, very nice limo-colored.
That's where I'm running.
Okay, good. That was my question to you. So, Nathan, you've made it to the limo. Your key card, the key card that they gave you, works. So you can load the help in. Basically, you can load these people in. Nadi, are you going with them? They're kind of looking to you right now. You are I know that you said. Sorry, if I may. I know that you said it hurts them or others, but the way I'm feeling, would you want to change it to you develop a connection? Because right now it feels like they're lost.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool. Whatever's best for the narrative, I'm fine with it. So yeah.
Okay. No, I'm cool with them getting hurt either now or later. They're basically right now, because it hurts them or others. Considering that they are vulnerable and innocents,
Right.
they're the first that are going to get hurt if anything goes bad. Right.
Well, it's also like, I mean, technically speaking, hurt doesn't just have to be physical. Like, they are going to be branded maybe as criminals. They have no job. Like, there's a lot of other things that are hurting them too.
That's why I'm asking you now.
Yeah.
So right now, and this I guess is a moment of decision for you. Are you willing to stick your neck out for them to make sure that they are not branded as criminals? Are you willing to cover for them?
Yeah.
Okay, that means that you have a connection with them. They're now reliant on you.
Okay.
You have contacts with them now. Hey, cool. You can go, but they're also, their livelihood is kind of now linked to you. So you've got a little bit more of a hook between the two of you.
Got it.
All right, cool. All right, back to the fighting, because we have to cut away occasionally to like emotional moments before being back to the.
Before we resolve anything with Victor,
Yes.
I'd like to resolve my thing. So I'm watching him kind of moving up and down, and like I assume trundling over towards where Victor landed.
Yes.
And Gideon is just going to run up and try to like push the grab the swinging shoulder cannon and like push that into the small of his, like, away from Gideon and towards this big beefcake of a dude, and shock it, and use his shock arm on it.
Okay. So in this case, I'm going to ask you to face adversity using
Finesse?
I'm honestly more thinking this is you are using machinery, so this is going to be your expertise. You're basically trying to activate his machinery.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to. I'm not necessarily trying to activate the machinery.
Are you trying to overload his neural link? Is that the like you grab his neural link and you're trying to that would definitely be expertise. Yeah.
Okay. That's the primary goal. He pointed away from it because he's like, I don't know if this thing is going to go off, and I don't want it pointing at me if it does.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. That's a good point.
All right. That was not in the tray. That's a 5.
Ooh.
Gideon's getting smacked.
Gideon's
getting smacked.
All right. You grab onto the electrical cable and send mass amounts of electricity through it. It immediately just shocks the back off and like blows the connector piece, like all the little things come off. But as you do that, he screams for a moment and goes, rah, rah. He isn't attacking. I'm going to give that. There's a brief moment of advantage for Victor to counter that. But in that swing back and forth, you holding onto basically a ponytail get whipped, and nothing. Right over that edge. There are police cars down below. There's a tangle of wires. There's like sticky out metal pieces that are part of the overall comms relay. And your arm pulls on one, you fall down several things and hook onto another one. You are dangling around 15 stories above the ground in like rain spattered, sci-fi dystopia kind of like lights pouring down around you. And you are extremely what's the word I'm looking for? You have pulled muscles, basically. You can feel your shoulder socket out. So you are stressed with pulled muscles? Yes.
Can I
Yes.
transfer this stress to my shock arm and say that as I'm grabbing on, I'm starting to feel it, like my body pull.
Sure.
Basically almost like disengage from it in a sense where I basically lock my fist in the closed position
Right.
around whatever it is, and I'll basically mentally
Absolutely.
disengage from my arm.
Yes. So go
I
ahead
don't
and stress your shark arm. You won't be able to use it anymore because you can feel a bunch of cables on the inside like disconnecting and. So your arm is around a couple of inches longer than it should be because you're now holding on by mostly cabling.
Yep.
But yeah, yes.
Do I have the ship ready?
Oh yes, you do.
Can I go get him?
Absolutely. It's going to be a bit of a tight thing because he's going to lose his grip pretty soon. But please, go ahead and push your vehicle. Roll maneuver plus expertise. Because you have to basically, you're going to be going really close to a building that has a bunch of antenna and stuff like that sticking out from it.
Okay. That's an 8. So 7 to 9.
It's your expertise is +2.
I know. I rolled a 6.
Ah, okay. Right. Choose your stance. You can choose up to 2.
Yep. Well, I would like to swoop in and
The get somewhere hard to reach, I'm going to assume is also you grab it.
swoop in and since it's a limo, I assume there's a side door.
Yes.
For the passenger
Actually, no.
area.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say that take someone by surprise is catching him because you take him.
Valid. Very valid.
So yeah, the surprise is when your arm finally gives way and you drop into a cushy limo.
Yeah, and as you pull up, you see Gideon is on his data pad, just hanging up, just scrolling through it. You don't know what he's doing, but he's on his data pad as normal.
So what I'm imagining is side door is open, and I kind of swoop in and go turn sideways and go in at such an angle that it just kind of swoops them up.
There's a slight shriek as everybody in the back seats, all the hired help and stuff like that, all get tumbled over each other, and also Nadi, who's in there as well. So there's
thanks.
Now there's one more body in there.
And then Gideon's in there, his the wires and cables from his from below his elbow finally give way, and he just drops in limo, just oh, cool, good driving, Nate, thank you. And then just back to his data pad, just missing the lower half of his left arm.
And if I could, I would like to swoop back up to a level where Victor could jump into the ship.
The fight has definitely progressed since that happened, though. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm
fair.
still going to be there or not.
But I don't know that, so
Yeah, well, we can hold on to the second stunt until a cinematically appropriate moment.
You said I got a moment of advantage, right?
Yes. So
Great.
here's the thing. You see this spark go off, and for a moment the guy is dazed. The advantages of weight outclassing you and reach outclassing you no longer apply. You've got an opening to take the fight to him rather than do the whole defensive martial, robot martial arts, power armor martial arts thing. But you also see Gideon get flung over the edge, and then you see the ship. Vroom. So there's just that basically happening in the background. For a brief moment, there's
I recognize that their limo's going to get to Gideon faster than I ever will, and even if I were to get down, I can't do anything. I don't have jump jets or anything.
Yep.
So I'm just going to see that he's off balance and just start, just kind of under my breath, just you and me, bud. And then still caught on the previous move, finally found the one-liner of, looks like you've got a chip on your shoulder, and go, but I already took it's too late for that one-liner. I'm just gonna jump into the air once he's off balance and just all my weight, turn myself around, flip. Everything he does is very acrobatic, almost gymnastic, so it's kind of it's a vault forward and plant both feet on his chest and just try to just while he's off balance, just take him straight down.
All right. So as you're running, your accelerators, which are built up on this kinetic momentum, start glowing and leaving ripples behind you as you get the kind of bluish tinge behind you. You plant your hands. You flip forward, Your feet connect with his chest, and now, yes.
Okay, great. Do I have advantage now?
You do not have I said you do not have disadvantage for him being the bigger and longer reach and that kind of thing.
Cancel. Roger that.
Yeah, you basically, even though it was a 6-, I'm still going to cancel his advantage on you.
Who wants to give Josh advantage?
I can roll the shake the dice from my hand.
It worked last time.
Seconds. 6, 5, 4. I don't know what the lag is like. 3, 2. Alright, we're just gonna roll it.
Yeah.
Advantage not necessary. That's a 10.
Great.
Fuck yeah.
Right. So it happens exactly the way that you described it. You connect with the chest plate, goes flying backwards. Trees smash and just break over his back. Is he going over the edge? Your choice.
No.
No. He lands, digs another furrow, an ornamental fountain goes bunking off of his head. It tries to stand up and then drops back down.
I'm gonna jog to catch up with where, to the edge where the limo is now coming back up.
Yep.
I get, as the door's opening, bigger they are, the harder they fall, and then just right into the limo.
Nadi just adds that one to the list.
Yeah. There are a few sky cars, police sky cars. None of them can keep up with Nathan. Forget that. Nathan, you being, especially given your mentor, escaping from the cops is 101. It's just,
That's the first thing I learned.
So as we're flying away, I feel like that would be a perfect time to set off my demo charges.
I go over to D and just so what's gonna happen to Tay?
Watch and learn. And then I don't know what it would be I feel like an activation switch, one of the little things.
Of course.
Ding! And
the entire lower middle of the building blows outwards. I am going to ask you, this is going to be face adversity using your expertise, please.
oh, okay, sure.
Yes.
To know where to place the charges.
Yes. How good
Got it.
was your placement?
Oh, hold on, I was shocked.
Is there a way for me to help with my expertise?
Not at this point. You didn't. He never told you that you were doing it, and you weren't in the same place when you were.
8.
Okay, I wasn't sure if this was the plan from the beginning, and then
I don't think anybody knew that it was the plan because he specifically didn't mention it to anybody.
Fair enough.
No, it was specifically secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 8 was what I got.
All right. You get one thing you wanted to achieve. Now, you can destroy the building completely.
Okay.
Everybody inside dead. That's what you get. But I get to enact an existing threat, which is the police. You've gone from it being a encounter in which some people died to an encounter in which an entire building was destroyed. You've become terrorists. Right?
Yeah.
Alternatively,
Has anyone actually died yet?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't kill anyone.
no
Yeah,
one has died yet.
No
No one's actually died yet. Now that I think of it,
Yeah.
no, you haven't killed a single
Very
person
careful
yet.
to not actually kill.
Yeah.
No, which
Yeah.
was
So
not my
close,
plan.
so close, so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. So wow, congrats, guys.
Well, hang on a sec.
Well.
Don't congratulate us just yet.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. Okay. Now,
One of
everybody
us
in
didn't get the memo.
Yeah, everybody in that building could die, and you would be branded as terrorists. That's the existing threat that would be fully enacted and introduced as a new threat. That takes you up a big point from potential kidnappers / assault into full-on terrorism.
Corporate
Alternatively-
espionage to terrorists.
Alternatively, you can just damage the infrastructure of the tower, which will cause, which will be a cause for like firefighters shutting down the building,
Right.
possibly demolishing it over time. You're not going to kill anyone because lower floors were empty,
Right.
especially around the communications and generator.
I'm gonna go with that one. And normally I would have said more in character. I would have said, I'll kill everyone. However, I'm just gonna turn, like, you can still tell that something happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna turn to Vic and go, Vic, everybody always wants the big explosions, the big shows, all that. But it's hitting where no one sees that actually destroys you over time. We'll see where they go from here. And just leave it at that.
Yeah. So
sounded wise, but
I am totally going to believe you.
I respect that I know how your explosions usually go, and I think the only thing is, like, I should have killed Tay, but otherwise, we're good.
No. It's good that he's alive.
Yeah.
There's
He's alive,
always
and
kill,
his entire corporate headquarters is basically ruined. Like, he's going to have to rebuild that whole thing. Because...
Which one's... Sorry, I was going to say one more thing, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just like, you've basically wrecked his generators, the infrastructure of the tower is no longer sound.
Yeah.
You didn't kill anybody, but now they're going to have to evacuate. So, which actually allows you an easier escape because a bunch of security and emergency vehicles are being diverted to now putting out the fires and rescuing people from that building.
Perfect. Well, that worked out really well in our favor then.
I think when Gideon says it's important that he's alive, Victor's just going to turn to him and be like, why?
Because, Victor, everybody you meet is a good contact for future work.
No, not everybody you meet's a good contact. Some people are just objectively bad.
Yes.
I
Yes, they
was
are.
objectively bad. But you don't fix people like him. People like him find ways to cause more people problems.
Maybe. And I do what I can to mitigate that. And you said it so yourself. You were objectively bad, and now, not so much. People do change over time.
Also,
It
if
just
he
takes
died
time.
right after signing a contract, that contract would probably be null.
I don't give a fuck.
Nope,
about
that's
the
actually
contract.
not the case, Nate.
I don't give
do
a
have-
single shit about the contract.
I'm sure the people who live on that planet do.
There was actually a clause written in there that it wouldn't be null and void if he died, but that's not always the case. You are right about that, Nate.
Whether he becomes good, bad, or dies right after this doesn't matter much. So long as we broke him, it means that he has no power over anything else anymore.
Oh no, he's gonna take years at best to recover from this.
Well, maybe another happy little accident will happen to him in that time. But for now, we've done our work.
Okay.
And with that, we shall sail into the night sky, back towards your ship, I imagine.
Yeah, our ship, the what?
Yeah.
I don't even actually know what our ship's called.
The
We
ship.
never talked about our ship.
The ship.
Never came up.
It's fine. It's fine. We haven't introduced the ship yet. As I said, we like, if this was a show, we haven't actually done the reveal shot of, like, the pan across the ship or anything. So
Oh,
it's
gosh.
fine.
Who can say?
Yeah. So I would do very quick. I probably won't do the cramp quarters or shore leave at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will quickly do XP triggers, even though we're not theoretically we're not continuing this.
But what if
it's
we
just.
do?
But what if we do? But more, I'd like to do it for testing purposes.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
just as if it was a real, it is a real session, but whatever. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. All right. So we'll start with Nadi.
Yep.
Carried your burden goodwill, absolutely, 100%. Yes,
Yep.
check that one off. Suffered a loss, defeat, or setback. Not especially. Nothing that I would say that actually really hurt, because it was part of your burden and you actually managed to pull it off.
Right.
Had you had to leave them behind, I would have said yes. That would have
Agreed.
Claim to victory for yourself. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
And championed an ally, let them shine.
Not
That
really.
one. No, you did. You did right at the beginning when you disabled the security so that Victor could do his job safely.
You are correct. There we go. Look at that.
Right, so that's 3 out of 4. Not bad. Yeah. All right, Victor. So that's 3 experience. I mean, you clear those, and you would clear those the next time you do cramped quarters or short leaf, basically. But for now, we leave them checked.
Got it.
Victor, carried your burden. Long lives of revenge victims. Not today.
No, not today.
But although you might have added a couple.
True.
True.
So we'll see. Suffered a loss, defeat, or setback. You got really hammered, dude. Beaten.
Honestly, I would consider the very last moment of this, in Victor's mind, that is a setback. Because in Victor's mind, he doesn't see the big picture. He sees, if we had killed this guy, he'd stop hurting people.
The long list of revenge victims that plays into that of just getting rid of all of your problems, right? So I would say it suffered a loss for sure. Claimed a victory for yourself and the ship. You did. You managed to beat 2 very elite power armored dudes in combat.
Thank you for giving me power armored dudes to fight.
Hey, I'm not the one to give you them. Remember, somebody else decided that there were elite soldiers that were guarding the place.
Hey,
so.
Ethan, thank you for giving me power armored dudes to fight.
That wasn't me. That was Dan.
Dan, thanks for giving me power. Thanks someone for giving me power armored dudes to fight.
Until he said that, I didn't know that there were.
I just
dudes.
came up with Planet Trade,
which was phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's make them as evil as possible.
And champion and I let them shine. I think that actually not especially for you. You got to be the big beef, but you got to kind of have your own fights.
I always ask people what to do, but that's not championing that. That's just following orders. No, I'm gonna say no on that one.
Yeah, sure. All right, Nathan, carried your burden?
Not really.
Not really. Not this time around. Might show up in the future. Suffered a loss, setback. You didn't really, did you?
Yeah, not really.
You were pretty good actually. Claimed a victory for sure.
That 8 was the lowest roll I had.
Yeah. Claimed a victory for sure. Absolutely. Yes. And championed an ally. You literally saved their lives.
Yeah.
You swooped in and saved them from falling. I finally got to get someone to fall. Yay!
I didn't even get to think that. I was thinking, I distracted the guard guy so Victor could get into position and get the drop on him.
And I'm glad that he survived. Actually, the gunslinger guy. I want to bring him back in the future. He was cool.
Yeah.
All right, and Gideon, you already did yours, I guess.
Yeah. I did not carry my burden, but that, if we continue down this thread particularly, about to.
What's your burden? The audience does not know that.
Oh, yes. Sorry. My burden is I seek continual self-improvement, as you can tell by the cybernetics that he is flush with. Well, not really flush with, but
I will say, continuing along the lines of your trying to convince Victor that killing things is not always the solution, and convincing Victor that he is becoming a better person. If you keep on that, I would actually grant that for being a self-improvement burden. Okay. Not this time around, but it's a good you're doing the what is it, the layup to spike it.
The set to the spike, yeah.
Yes, to set. Thank you.
I definitely suffered a loss, defeat, and setback. Probably all 3.
In one roll.
And literally one fell swoop. Claimed a victory for myself and the ship. I would say yes.
Yes.
And championed an ally and let them shine. Absolutely. I got thrown off a fucking roof for it.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm happy to call it the session there.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Sean.
much appreciated. We will be back to our regularly scheduled programming either in a week or 2 weeks. We'll let you know. Hopefully, if...
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
Sneeze.
While Josh is sneezing,
Oh.
remember to join the Discord and get updates on all of the stuff about the show.
I'm posting a link, don't worry.
Thank you.
you are? Okay.
Thank you for posting the link. Get updates. We'll keep you posted. We'll be doing probably more one-offs whenever we can in our off weeks. It'll be a varying kind of rotating cast. I know if you're interested in jumping in for a session, reach out to me personally and we'll talk. But I think it's all we have for now. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to raid into a tabletop that's currently doing a Resident Evil one-off.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah,
What system are they doing? What
I
system
have
are they
no
using?
idea.
Oh.
But it's a group of...
It's got to be powered by the apocalypse.
It's a Twitch channel called Near Dark Society. So everyone, if you could go and just even say hi for a little bit, it really means a lot. It helps out the channel.
Yes.
And I think we're good. Anyone got anything else?
If you join the Discord, I'm also going to be trying to cross-post my posts from the Gauntlet there about the development of this game. If you have any comments about things that you thought, oh, this could have been done better, or I really want to see more of this kind of gameplay or mechanics or whatever, I am so open to this. I make it for you guys. I mean, theoretically, I made it for my Friday group originally, but I make it for the people who play it, so... For the love of God, tell me what you want.
Sean is a reverse compliment taker. You usually do a compliment sandwich. You got to have him a critique sandwich. Critique, compliment, critique.
Yeah.
You've got to line it up right.
But only like one a week, because if he gets too many compliments, he shuts down.
Yeah, well, I hit critical mass, and then my head gets too inflated, and then I can't fit my earphones over. anyway, let's go do that. Right?
Yeah, I'm just going to really quick. If anyone needs the emotes to copy, here are the emotes. If you want to bring them over with us. And other than that, we're going to go do a raid. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
This
See you guys.
But see ya. Good night.
Bye.
Woo. Woo.
Bye. Bye now.
How long are we moving now?
It's just until the raid goes through.
It's
We're having some... Hold on. Having some raid trouble.
Raid.
It's not letting me raid.
It's not letting me raid.
it did that to me the other night too.
The raid
You
button
might just
isn't
have to wait. You might just have to wait, literally.
Well, guys, we're going to hang here until the raid goes through.
Yes.
I don't know why the raid button isn't working.
Because Twitch is not functioning right
If
now.
anyone is curious about Victor and Nadi's dark backstory, please feel free to reach out to Jake or I, and we will talk your ears off at length.
Because we went way too hard.
I never got to reveal what Nathan's last name is since you teased it
Go
earlier.
ahead. I never had a chance to address you, but I almost called you by your last name for that reason. But go ahead and share.
So I came up with the name of Nathan Ford by combining Nathan Fillion and Harrison Ford. And then it was brought to my attention that is a character on Leverage.
Oops, happy accident.
Whoopsie. All right, the raid is coming
But you
soonish. Sorry, huh?
you didn't go with like Harrison Fillion?
That didn't roll off the tongue like Nathan Ford. Nathan Ford sounds
I admit,
awesome.
Yeah.
I admit that Nathan
It's an
Ford
awesome
sounds...
character. Alright, and it's still not letting me raid. What the hell?
It's like, it's
I'm gonna
gone, like the
cancel
raid
and
bar's
try
done.
again. I'm gonna cancel and try again. Hang on.
Okay.
Jiggle the cord. Blow it.
Basically.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
I'm sad that the whole blow it thing is like on its way out as far as being
I still kind of want to use the name Malcolm Moreau though, because that does have a nice ring to it.
Oh yeah, you did think of that.
And that one's Malcolm Reynolds, Firefly, and Jeff Joker Moreau from Mass Effect.
And we're raided.
Oh yeah!
And we're out.
Oh, okay.
We've raided.
Oh, we raided.
Yeah, right.
Right.